proudly stand by, we don't mind talking about.
Okay,
but things that can be kind of controversial, we can like touch the surface.
Yeah.
We can dive deep offline.
Let's just say, as musicians, we're trying to strategically win Red and Blue.
Right.
100%. And just not
100%.
Although we're not either or.
Right.
That's what I even thought of.
Yeah.
It's
like I was already questioning everything, and then I watched The Social Dilemma, and afterwards I was your soul.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what?
I literally took a break off social media after I watched that for like a good month and a half, and no shit, I got so much shit done in that month and a half that I was on social media that you don't even realize the amount of time that you spend on your fucking phone. It's crazy.
Right.
Until you actually you know what, fuck this shit. If you just use it for text or calls, you spend way less time on your fucking phone.
Buy a flip phone, call it.
Yeah, I know, right?
Take
it back.
Warren Buffett has a flip phone.
Yeah.
I'm sure he does.
The hard part with us too is being artists.
That's hard. Yeah.
So it's you're using.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have to use it and not be used by it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. What did you call that again? Micro and macro? Like Salvita's one thing, but then Mark is something completely different?
Oh, so it's micro and macro influencers. So that's
we've
what
been talking about that lately too.
Yeah. So yeah. Salvita. How do you guys know Salvita?
He's a good guy, man. We met him. Where did we meet him? Because we've known of him from beginning.
Is it Influland?
I feel like.
Yeah, we met him in Influland. We performed at a club for Candela.
Okay,
And then through that, somebody invited us to this influencer party, and we met Salvita there.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Met
that's what's
him,
up.
and then he just really fucked with us. He's a good
Yeah,
guy.
he's a
He's
good dude.
connecting us with people
Yeah,
left and right,
yeah.
shouting
He's
us
good
out
about
on his
that.
page.
Yeah, he's good
shit
with
ton of
that.
He believes in me,
Yeah.
When he believes it, if he believes in something,
Yep.
He'll
his
move
heart
on.
and soul
Yeah,
into it.
he will. Yeah, I've known
Cool guy.
Salvita for years. He actually got me and my wife now. He played Cupid.
Yeah.
Yo, he the matchmaker.
Yeah, he
He
is.
does the repertoire.
Yeah.
Actually, DuckDuckGo, places
But he was saying, do you think it plays into a lot of other people's success being in almost like a fraternity type?
Yeah, that's
You
what
know what I mean?
It's like,
Because of the network that people are able to pull.
I think so.
they look
And
out
such an
for each
expansive
other.
network.
Yeah.
They put their
And the
buddies
purpose-
in power.
And it's always like that though, because for
course,
me,
yeah.
if I'm in need, right, I can tell my lodge or tell brothers, and they're supposed to come.
Right.
And it's not because they have to. It's because they choose to, but they're willing to sacrifice for their fellow brother. Right.
Yeah. It's like they said, your network is your net worth.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the kind of people that you surround yourself with, it could either make you or break you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I feel like that's probably a big thing with the Masons and a lot of people being in power, and a lot of influential people going into it as well. Is they know that getting into something like that is gonna more than likely propel them forward to do something.
But that's always
bigger.
your secondary. There's assholes who go into masonry because they want to abuse the system.
Right.
Yeah,
And
just like every
Just like anything, really.
ecosystem, there's always somebody who's gonna.
But that a lot of times always comes just for the sake of who you might meet. I've been to the lodge I'll tell you one thing. One cool thing is that no matter where I go in the world, and whoever's in the lodge at the same time as me, we're all equal. Once you step into that room, you could be a trillionaire, a gazillionaire. You and I are in the same equal playing field, and he will look at me the exact same way I will look at him. And you actually get a Masonic passport where, if I wanted to, and if I was going to we're going to Mexico in June, right? And I can go look up a lodge that's near there, call them. I'm gonna have to use Google Translate, but call them hey, when's your next meetings? Your what they call a state of communications. I'll show up. I'll show them my ID card that I have that's current and so that, and they'll ask me some questions. And I'll be in a lodge, hanging out with them as a guest, and a lot of times they'll give you a coin, which is pretty dope. I have a lot of them upstairs,
That's
and
cool.
every lodge gives you a coin. Yeah. So
That's
it's AA meetings for me.
And just to kind of go around, you guys want to introduce yourselves? Mind we go start with you, then we'll go around.
But I'm DZ from Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
Yep.
Hey yo, I'm Hex. Family with the rest of the crew here. We're actually all family here.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we Mucho Info.
Mucho info. We got mucho info
Hey, we
in
got
the
Mucho
house.
here.
We got Mucho. We got Yona over here from Boston, MA.
Nice. Horrible.
Edgy La Casa.
You a Red Sox fan?
And a Celtics fan.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
And a
Get the fuck out
Patriots
the house.
fan.
Actually, all four of us
Come
are
on,
from Boston.
man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Born in
Yeah.
Boston, raised in Atlanta.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Damn.
What's up?
Yeah,
Good.
man. Edgy in La Casa.
There you go.
This guy's brother, cousin, brother from another mother.
I'm Maui.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
We're Mucho Info. Four of us are blood related, and we're brothers by bond, not fraternity.
And I know I
So-
mentioned this earlier, but you guys, you say you're from Jacksonville, and then you
Born
guys
in
Boston, grew
Yeah.
up in Atlanta.
Yep.
Okay.
We've been here
How long
since-
have you guys been in Atlanta?
Since we were like 5, 6.
Oh, okay.
Oh, damn.
No,
So, like,
you guys are
20
from
years.
Atlanta.
We're
No,
ATL.
we
We're
were in the
ATL.
suburbs. We were in the suburbs the most of our lives. We recently moved into the heart of Atlanta.
Okay.
That's where it is.
3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had to whip it to Atlanta before, but now we
Yeah.
decided to just kind
Right.
of be able to
Right.
Uber wherever we go
Might
for
as
$10.
well.
So then you guys family, and then I know you were saying that you guys met in
Fraternity brother?
Yeah,
Fraternity
so-
in what?
So Maui, Hex and I went to Georgia Southern. That's where we met DZ.
Okay.
And that's what I was saying before. Like, it's crazy. We met up and we found out we're kind of on the same path. Like, we started freestyling in high school, and he was actually making beats most of his life. So when we got together, it's just that quick connection. Like, oh, that's dope, bro. Rapping on his beats, start chilling, you know. And one thing led to another. We just kept that friendship. They formed a fraternity together.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they're together by that, and then just outside of college, we just kept together. We worked on like an online business together,
Okay.
and then we just
Yeah.
converted all our passion and knowledge of business into
Right.
music.
Hey,
And that's
yeah.
what made Mucho Info about almost 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Mhm.
Awesome. Hell yeah.
Yeah, but we started our first business together, our first business venture, us five, in 2015.
What was you guys' business?
We were building an e-commerce business.
Okay.
It was a
okay.
network marketing business where we learned a lot about selling products and
Right.
helping people start their own stores online and different e-commerce platforms.
Mhm.
And it was a good learning session for all of us. Like, I mean, we did it for a few years, and we gained some success. We learned how to set goals. We learned how to be like, each other's keepers and keep each other accountable.
Right.
To come together for like the same ideal vision.
Right.
So
We got to network with some rather wealthy people too.
facts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so rub
We
shoulders
had-
with them and just know
That's
that.
where it's at. Like I
Mentorship
said,
really
your
learn from
network
it.
is your
Yeah.
network.
Right.
We really received good mentorship there.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's awesome.
Like, it was,
That's awesome.
it was
What'd you guys study in college?
I studied economics.
Okay.
But I also studied chemistry to begin with.
Oh,
When I was
Chemistry,
studying
yeah.
chemistry,
Making
like,
meth
I
lab.
was I had-
Breaking
I-
Bad over
I-
here.
The accountant too. You'll be the
I
accountant as
learned, I
well.
learned some shit. I learned how to distill. I understand the
I
process.
bet you
of how
did.
to make
He learned how to cut some brownies.
I was learning how to like breaking down a bunch of stuff, but at the end of it, my goal was to go into pharmacy, and when I was learning about pharmacy, that really just woke me up and turned me off about it, which made me switch into economics.
really?
Yeah.
'cause
What about that turns you off?
because
Interesting.
of the way that like the pharmaceutical industry is,
Right.
man, like
rigged.
Big pharma.
like they're really big on like creating treatments versus cures and getting people hooked on the same thing, which then causes another problem, which comes.
Well, it's money, right?
It's
You
money.
know,
At the
You
end
got
of the
more
day,
money treating
the-
somebody than curing
They want you on the
somebody,
payment plan.
The more dependent
That's
you
what money
are,
machine.
the more dependent you are on the government to provide you
Absolutely.
those meds, like the more they have control over you, because you've now lost that sense of will to have reasoning that and
Wellness.
wellness.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And see,
yeah.
not like that's one of my biggest things with this whole like COVID thing. I believe COVID is real and everything, but at the same time, nobody's pushing health. Not one. Like I've never heard of anybody be like, "Hey, you guys need to work out. You guys need to like eat healthier." You don't hear none of that shit. All you hear is like, "Yo, go get the vaccine. You'll be alright."
Wear your mask.
Like, you know, wear a mask. Go
It's
get a
like,
vaccine. And,
wash
you
your
think-
hands.
and that to
Talking
me is
about
like, because I work out all the fucking time. Like, I go to the
Let's
gym
not
like
promote
on
it.
a regular. You know what I mean? And I like, to me, that is more important than me getting a vaccine. You know what I mean? Like, to me, it's like, if I'm healthy, if I know that I'm working out, I'm eating well, and I'm keeping up with my body, like, I know my body. So I should be able to,
take care of your body, and it takes
it takes care of
bro.
you.
It
Exactly.
will.
100%.
Right, it will.
100%. So that to me, like, it's like, man, like that rubs me the wrong way. It's like, okay, it's like anything else, right? It's like, you know, you go cancer, right? Like, you really think all these years they don't have a cure for cancer? Like, come on.
Dude, yeah,
Like, like going back to what you said, it's all about money. You know what I mean? Like that cancer treatments, that's their money makers.
He's telling
It's not for him.
What? Yeah. Well, you're telling me that, like, think about how our technology, right? A new iPhone comes out every whatever it's
Every year.
There's
Every
two
year
a year, basically, right? Every 6 months, right?
That's
and
crazy.
yeah, and we cannot make a car that goes, or even if it was a gas powered car that goes more than 100 miles, you know, or things like that, you know, per gallon, right? Or an electric car that can go. Like, I remember one time a friend of mine and I, we were, you know, under the influence driving like a 4-hour trip, and we started talking about in the car because he has panoramic windows like I do, and we're like, what if they invented
self-driving,
like, well, that, but like clear solar panels,
Oh, dude.
right? That are on top, that are on, like, think about a Tesla, right?
Exactly.
It's all glass. But if I've seen them before. They make clear solar panels. It's just the wiring in the glass, right? You just don't open it, but when the sun's out, you're charging it. So why isn't it that, like, if the sun is out from 6 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night in the summertime, my ass should be driving. I should be all the way in California right now.
We should get a free fucking energy.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Like Tesla said.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he was all about, was free energy.
But isn't Elon Musk trying to build his roads that kind of do something similar?
Something like that. Magnetic.
Right.
Yeah.
His boring
That man
company.
is-
Elon
that man
Musk is
he's the Iron Man of
Yo,
the
he's
world.
the
He's an alien, bro.
Look,
He's
I've
an
been
alien.
even thinking about
Yeah.
that because I used to work in freight, and I was like, how do we minimize like human error, bro?
Right.
It's like it's literally got to be kind of like a railway system, but like with a more adaptable way where you can switch lanes, because you can't be in the same lane with the current highway system that we have.
No.
But like, if we magnetize like just semis, we minimize human error in that way, and we just create like
They need their own
like
lane.
a one-way.
You know what?
Right.
That's actually really interesting. That's
Their own
really
lane of
interesting
just-
because then you minimize that, but at the same time you're minimizing like trucking accidents and shit
Right.
like that. Because some of these motherfucking truck drivers, they don't give a fuck. They'll be
They don't even honk.
But the
anymore.
problem is
You
too
hear
is
that.
other drivers
bump
too
you right
trying
off
to
the
test
road,
the
like-
truck
Yeah,
driver.
yeah.
You
A lot
gonna
of
learn
other
that that's
drivers.
not gonna stop on a dime.
Then you
Yeah.
got this
Exactly.
Then you got this little guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
try to
there's a
cut-
lot of people out there that just,
Don't light up.
I don't know what they're thinking when they're driving.
Good luck trying to cut a truck driver off.
And then you think about how now everything's electronics, right? Or robotic and AI. So all those truck drivers within the next 10 years are not even going to have a job anymore.
Well,
right?
see, that's the downside of like technology, right? It's like the more
Right.
automated things get, the less humans you need to do things. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
And that's
And you know,
it's
you know what I
it's a
think about
double-edged
that?
sword.
You want to go ahead, Izzy?
I don't know if I'm cushioned from that or not because I'm in IT. Like that's my profession. So
Yeah.
I have to like fix the things
Yeah.
that we're going to
That do the things
But
we're
you're
cushioned
be
from.
guaranteed
Okay.
a job.
So, like,
So
you
then
know,
there would
from
be
it
more
'cause
I
hard
mean, it's
jobs.
definitely a
So,
growing
you know what I'm
industry
saying?
alongside that.
Right.
Replacing people industry is the
Right.
industry of fixing the shit that replaces people
Yeah.
and making sure those keep getting innovated and maintained.
And then there's the whole digital
If you
wave
guys
of
get
how to
replaced,
create
I'm
income
sorry.
too.
No, you're good.
I'm the one
No,
fixing the
but
machine.
no, that's good. But it's like
Make some money.
I like the difference of opinions, because it's like, okay, that happens, but then you got all the people that are like, you know, they've been in that industry for a long time, and then they're like told like, hey, you know what, you're gonna replace by a machine or
Yeah.
something. So what does that person do now if that's all they've known all their life?
That's
learn the skill
that's-
set.
Then you got to learn something new. You have no choice but to learn.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Learn something.
that's hard. That's a hard pill to
Yeah,
swallow.
but
Yeah,
you see
it's
your
slow,
worth
right?
to society.
Yeah.
Especially for Hispanics, because you know we're prideful as fuck.
Facts.
So it's like you're gonna tell pops like, hey, like sorry, you're gonna have to learn a new trade. Like
Like what?
Yeah.
Learn.
exactly.
Yeah, like what? The question is
Like what? It's like I don't know what what were you doing before you came here?
Bro, that's like my grandma learning English, and she was here for like 30 years.
Exactly.
She refused.
Yeah,
Confused.
there's no change in their mind. It's like
It's like this is
exactly.
like-
I don't need it.
Right.
So you got everybody else speaking English for me.
Yeah.
My grandsons.
Yeah.
Right.
But you think about even McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
They will only have a manager and maybe 3 people now, because what you see a lot of people do is automated. Like I think it was Walmart has a machine that they created, or somebody created for them, that stacks the damn aisles themselves.
Oh, stock shit for people.
Yeah, like it has an end, goes up, stacks it, done.
Man, we are living the future now.
Yeah, we're seeing it.
It's really interesting.
Like I'm a big movie guy, right? And like they always get mad at me because, and then my wife hates it when I do it. When I try to like either quote movies, or I'm like, oh, this happened in a movie, you know?
Yeah.
And we always
we do that.
We start seeing that as time goes on.
Right.
Everything starts to matter.
Like, I would say the one that scared me probably the most, especially lately, was Ready Player One.
That's so crazy.
Is that the one with the guy from?
He wears the VR glasses.
Yo,
it's kind of like a Spielberg movie.
And he's the same guy from Law Abiding
I feel
Citizen.
like
It's not him.
That's
or
a
maybe
like the whole concept is that there's a virtual world, right?
Right.
And everyone is hooked onto it.
Yeah.
Everyone goes there, and you can be whoever you want, right? That's pretty much the concept.
Well, that's where we're heading.
Yeah.
No,
no.
you see that? They've said it.
Just to bounce off of that, are you guys familiar with NFTs?
Dude,
So NFTs, right?
people make
Speaking
some of it.
about VR, so NFTs, basically the concept is that you can buy a digital asset, right? So this digital asset later on can be used in virtual reality things to where, like, you can even buy a house as an NFT or something like that.
People are right now buying property.
Dude, it's crazy.
Like, buying houses.
They're saying that there's going to be like, it started off with the art, being
Yeah.
NFT.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
they're
yeah.
saying,
That
like,
was
to
the-
be able to display it
pioneer.
and have, galleries and whatnot you can go to for VR to see like your NFTs that you have bought and all that kind of stuff. Just like literally just on the wall. Kind of
Right.
thing. It's not
Yeah. It's crazy.
So
Like
what's
I saw they made like these little like almost picture frame things to where you can have your NFT projected. It's fucking sick. And then it has like the little like QR code on there, like
scan it.
as like the authenticator type deal,
Right.
Because a lot of people are like, okay, you can get a digital asset, but what keeps the person from like screenshooting it and
It's something about the
bootlegging it.
blockchain coding of it.
But yeah,
I have two things to say about that.
blockchain.
Like, one, we have to hop on it and make lots of money with it.
100%.
It's a new reality.
100%.
But two, my question is, I have a question about that. It's like, what's the objective here? Like, is the objective to really push the entire ecosystem to be in front of a screen, living a reality through this another simulation? Are we going another layer deep?
Yeah. It's Inception.
but
y'all seen Spy Kids 3D Game Over?
Right, it's
It's been a while ago. It's been a
That
while.
whole simulation theory is like developing in front of us.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
And how
which
we're
is
Before
crazy.
any of this.
What
This is literally like in
what we're doing is-
2004.
And it's like the way humans are evolving.
developing.
It's like
We're just
we're evolving alongside with the technology. So
100%.
we're becoming symbiotic with it. Eventually, it's going to
forced.
become. It's forced, but we've also become accustomed to it and have allowed it.
Yeah.
We
Because of
want it
programming,
as the
Well,
program.
it's not just.
Right.
You have to think about, you have free will, right?
Right.
But when you watch something like Social Dilemma, or you see what social media can do with you, how much free will do you really have? Because people always say,
really free and influence.
because people are like, I'm free, but it's like, it's influence. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, if you, like they always say, you talk about cats. Next thing you know, kitty litter is going to pop up on your Instagram,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Dude, right now, you're
being
gonna have some
influenced.
kitty litter literally in the next 5 minutes.
Influencers. Fuck.
You're gonna.
You are being influenced. Like, my daughter loves
Right.
TikTok, right? And she was like, I want to buy some t-shirt. I was like, why? Because so-and-so was buying. I'm like, no. That you're being influenced, right? So if you think about, we're seeing it, but if you drag that on for like 15 years, right? Not my generation, right? It'll be like your kids' generation, right? They're going to be so lower down on the totem pole, they're not going to know, what Moors are or what,
They're gonna walk out with
ancestors
an
are.
iPhone, like, hey,
Everything is going to be there. You got kids now that are like, 2 years old, know how to work an iPad better than some teenagers.
But they don't know how to ride bikes.
Exactly.
No.
That's crazy.
It's true.
They know how to work an iPad, but they don't ride bikes.
Right.
So it's more of, I look at it where it's like, okay, 100 years down the road, 50 years down the road, who knows?
We're gonna
Hopefully
live
not in my
They
lifetime.
live like Wall-E.
Yeah, like
Right.
they.
I was
yeah,
just gonna
seriously.
touch on that, Wally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wall-E, I see that
Yeah.
shit.
No, it's true.
All
Because it's like you now you are in control of everyone, but in like almost like a Professor X type deal where you put on Cerebro and now I
Right.
can control everybody, and that's what like Ready Player One did, right? Ready Player One didn't even have jails. They had people where you pay off your debt in a VR world.
That's insane.
Like I kid you, like I watched it the other day after watching some other stuff, and I sat there, I was like, fuck, like it's serious. Like people, like if something happened, you couldn't pay for something, like no problem. Like you work it off for like a year, right? And they put you in a box, and you got like a shackle so you get shocked. And there's like, and when they're VR world, they're like picking up rocks. Damn. But they're going from like one corner to the other.
Right,
some nonsense shit.
Some Matrix shit.
Hell no.
Yeah.
So we got to do one thing. We got to hop on this pioneer wave and become the influencers of this new.
Yeah.
We gotta
this
leverage
new
that.
technology.
That's the thing. It's like
it's a curve.
you can't.
Because everything starts at some point. It's always the people getting first.
Exactly.
Really
It's like NFTs right now, cryptocurrency, and it's like, that's the future. You're seeing it. You're seeing it day by day. Like the dollar, it's getting inflated like crazy.
Yeah.
Like you look at cryptocurrency, and you have this digital asset that is worth almost as much as $1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, and it's just the beginning. You know what I mean? They're projected Bitcoin to hit like 100,000 by the end of the year or some crazy shit. So it's like, that to me is better because, with cryptocurrency, it's not owned by anyone. It's not controlled by the government or anything like that. Right. It's all the blockchain, all that stuff. So that to me is a lot better because you're able to see like transactions. Like if the government was to adopt, cryptocurrency and everybody, paid with cryptocurrency, then you'd be able to be like, okay, the government's sending money to this area. Why are we spending? Like you'd be able to track it a lot better, to whereas now it's like you don't know where the fuck they're spending their money, and you got issues here within your own nation that you can't even control. It's like
how many trillions did they just do right now?
1.7-ish.
Right.
Yeah.
Everyone got a stimulus check.
Right.
Now
what are we in, like 20 plus million?
Yeah,
Trillion,
I always laughed at like every 4 years when they had a presidency, I would always laugh about how they would come up with some
Everyone's gonna change the world.
idea
You
to
guys know how
get
much
that
Bitcoin's
number
worth
down.
right now?
That never happened.
50
bro.
something.
59.
57, bro.
Oh, it went
Almost.
down.
Yeah.
But still, I didn't know they got them almost 60s.
Yeah, bro.
You guys need to
It
jump.
was
You
literally,
guys need to jump
it was
on that.
literally at
Oh
3,000 last February.
Yeah.
Last February was at 3,800, I think, maybe 4.
When I was paying
Do-
attention, it was in the under 20.
Do any of you guys own crypto?
Yeah,
Nah, like,
I mean,
Tiny
I own
bit.
some
I own
Not
some
what we
right
need.
now.
I own
Not
some-
what we need to own.
I own some Bitcoin, some Tezos, a little bit of
What's that one?
XRP.
Oh, some Ripple.
Ripple,
Yeah,
yeah.
Ripple, yeah.
But not a lot, not enough,
Ripple
not
is
enough to
wild.
talk about.
Y'all jump on the Dogecoin shit?
Yeah,
I just for a little bit. I
Dude,
mean,
some
it's not-
people made money off that shit.
So we were
Like,
talking about that today
I
too.
sat
But it's
on it,
like it really because it was like a
The
coin
trends.
based off a meme. It followed the same trajectory of a meme. Like it builds up traction so fast, but after too long, it's just gone. You know
Everyone's
what I mean?
over
That's why
it.
you come into with the next new meme. So
So
it's
until
like,
it comes back.
But the thing with go ahead, were you?
Until it comes back.
Yeah.
It needs
Yeah,
to
yeah,
come back.
But that's the thing about
They'll make
Doge.
another
It's gonna act similarly to the meme, so it's.
Yeah.
Well,
I wouldn't
like-
invest longevity into a meme coin.
But then now you play the whole influence part into it because Elon
Right.
Musk is a big advocate for Dogecoin, right? So it's like
Right.
as soon as he tweets some shit, that shit goes boom.
But he's
Like-
a huge advocate, but he has a shit ton in Bitcoin. And
Oh,
and
yeah.
he's also
Oh,
accepting
no.
payment in,
Well,
in
it's-
Bitcoin
exactly.
now, too, right?
Man,
Teslas,
he's only gonna win
yeah.
off of that.
Oh, hands
Someone's
down.
gonna buy a Tesla with some Bitcoin. That Bitcoin's gonna be worth so much more.
That's what I'm saying.
More than
yeah.
the
I
Tesla
don't
that
even want
they
to buy.
buy.
I don't even want to use my Bitcoin to buy this. I want to use cash.
You can sell partial Bitcoin too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fractions of a
That's
Bitcoin.
true. That's
Exactly.
true.
And that's the thing.
But if I use cash, it will be worthless later. So it's like I got a Tesla. for free.
Yeah.
You use the
Get
cash
rid of the
like
cash,
gas.
buy, keep
Yeah,
your
literally.
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Right.
It's everything's digital.
Yeah, everything's
Right.
going
'Cause
digital.
they were talking about with the They were talking about with the Dogecoin. It's my house. Right? It doesn't matter. It's their show. That the reason why people are fucking with it, right? Not it has nothing to do with the memes. The memes help,
Yeah.
but the way that it's made, it's similar to the dollar, where it's infinite. You could just print all the money you want, and with Dogecoin, you could just have as many as you want. Like Bitcoin has like
set
once it's
amount.
done, it's
A
done.
limited amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they were. That's the reason why Elon Musk was pushing it, because he realized that that's the type of currency where not everyone is going to have be able to afford a Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
No one's just
Right.
gonna pull out and buy one. Like you're gonna want to buy a lot.
Yeah.
But if it got to $1, if it got to $1, right, it would literally be worth the same amount as a normal
It's a
dollar,
normal
Right.
dollar.
right? And
Right.
then so
Yeah,
they
that's
were
what
saying that
he's
if that happens, it
trying
would
to-
continue to trend.
He's trying to push it to where it becomes like something similar to where anybody can use it as like a
Yeah,
type
as a
of
currency.
currency.
Like
Right.
PayPal's starting to do that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Amazon. Somebody big was about to use
Well,
it.
there's a lot
Taco
of companies
I
following.
know
this.
Taco Bell was like literally one of the first ones to
You'll
accept
never catch
Bitcoin
my ass.
payment.
Yeah.
I bet they are. They're
Yeah,
probably
they were one of the
desperate.
first ones to accept Bitcoin.
I remember
fake meat.
seeing that.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that. That's when Bitcoin was worth like 18K, 17K, like before it had the dip.
That blew my
Yeah.
mind.
Damn.
You know?
They made some bread.
Yeah.
That did. I mean, people slept on it in the beginning,
Yeah. Big
and
time.
then like when everything crashed, I think a lot of and that's the thing too. Like I always feel like everything happens for a reason, right? So you think about how they put it out there, like, hey, this is just the new trend, right? People jumped on it, and then all of a sudden, when society kind of crashed, all of that crashed too, and then like everyone stopped talking about it.
Yeah.
That's where they're sneaking. To me, in my opinion, I'm like that's where they're sneaking.
That's
They'll
Warren-
start buying all the shit.
Warren
Like, people
Buffett-
not supposed to.
Warren Buffett said something incredible once. He said, when everybody's talking about something, he said that's when you shouldn't invest.
Yeah.
No.
It's when everyone's quiet. That's when you invest.
That's
true.
100% true because the rule of thumb is if you see it on social media, it's already too late.
Exactly.
So it's like, or any like outlet, whatever. He's like, in order to invest, you gotta do your due diligence. You gotta, do your research.
you have to make predictions.
You have to make. You have. It's
And
a
risk.
gamble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's a fucking
To be
gamble.
honest, I really deeply believe. I'm like, none of this new technology or none of these new like social media things or coins, none of this is made without some kind
Reason.
of purpose behind it.
Yeah.
So like, there's some like somebody saw that, hey, this has this kind of potential. Yeah, launch it. Let's see what the plan is. Boom,
I-
like that's everything.
Mm-hmm.
I still feel that it's like more evil behind it. I don't know why. There's something about it. It's hard to explain.
It's hard for me.
There's something to
Disagree.
explain. That there's like I love the idea of like bitcoins and everything like that, and I always felt in the back of my head that because like there was a documentary, like the Bitcoin documentaries on Netflix and stuff like that. And when you watch them, right, they're very confusing because it's some random dude that no one ever knew.
Right.
Just all of a sudden just decided I'm just gonna build this.
And nobody still knows.
Nobody knows who Satoshi
Nobody
is.
knows who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just really odd. It's like it
It's
reminds
a
me of
secret
like George
society
Dice
is keeping
stuff.
it. It's not letting anyone know.
That's what I always feel. I'm like, it's.
But
it's
imagine
something
it
behind
is Anonymous, the entity of Anonymous itself, like created that to disrupt fucking financial society and like
Yeah, you
decided
hope
to
so.
remain anonymous. You would hope
Yeah.
so, right?
Like that's the biggest
Right.
thing. You would hope
Damn.
that people make things like that because they see that it's a necessity.
Right.
But it's like that's why it's hard because you don't know necessarily what to believe anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, fuck, like it's like an animal. You want to give it food, but you have a gun in the back of your hand, right? But the animal's coming closer and closer because they're not sure, but they want some of that food. Once you start eating it, they got you and they're gonna blow your brains out.
I feel like it's that same concept of like there's always going to be shifts in powers.
Yeah.
And there's always going to be some kind of dynasty or some kind of empire that's the largest one that controls the financial, I guess, reality we live in. And over time, there are people who become revolutionaries and
Yeah,
create some
you
other
hope.
kind of fucking idea,
Yeah.
and it becomes a new norm. There's going to be a shift in power, and I feel like a lot of people don't even recognize when that's happening.
No.
But there is chaos that starts to.
And I feel like it's already happened. You know what I mean? It's already started.
It started.
Because like just with everything, like we're gonna start living a new normal. We've already living a new normal.
In so
you know
many
what I
ways.
mean? In so many different ways with
Yeah.
with COVID,
Been
with
over
the
a year.
vaccine,
Yeah.
with everything, and it's crazy to think that it's like
That's right.
only been a
I get
year.
it.
You know what I mean? It's only been a year that so much has changed
Right.
in 1 year.
Man,
Like you
it's a
start
whole
to
new
think,
world.
it's a whole new, literally.
Bruh.
Let me get another one. Yeah. And you just think about it, and it's like if so much can
COVID
change
anniversary.
in a year, like anything is possible. Like
Yeah.
a year ago, people
What's a year
weren't
from now gonna
talking.
look like?
Exactly. It's like a year ago, Bitcoin was like at $3,000-$4,000. Right now it's at 59.
I remember.
Yeah,
when
it
it
was
was
like-
February, and I was like 3,300. This shit.
Yeah,
goes
I was
up.
like-
is it though? Is it? It was at 22K. What if I
And
lose my
before that,
30K?
yeah.
Right.
Right.
I was like, nah. I was like,
And all the delivery
I was like-
companies and all the online sales companies, everything that's just
No.
like came with COVID. that-
Right.
With the
Right.
technology of
Yeah.
evolving
Oh,
around
Instacart,
COVID and just fucking
Instacart, DoorDash,
Shift, all these
this
companies
other
and
Amazon
shit.
skyrocket.
all the stuff.
Amazon, bro. Amazon, like
Even
Jeff
like,
Bezos
when
made
I
it.
think about
Him and
it,
Tesla were running for the number one.
Yeah, they literally neck and neck.
Neck
Like,
and neck, bro.
even outside of all these like
boss. Thank you,
companies and everything affected by it, I also think back and like I think about my childhood and the time that I had my childhood was around the same time.
Some chips are fire. I don't have any dip, but
It was about the same time that like
No, I
the
like
internet was
chips.
going up too. So half of my childhood was still going out to play
Right.
out in the woods, right? You play with sticks. You still use your imagination as kids. And nowadays, like, because I got a 9-year-old brother, so I look at him and like they just started going back to school again. Like the fact that they had to do online learning for like an entire year.
that
You know
fucked
what I
a
mean?
lot of kids up. Like,
Dude.
you know what I mean?
Dude,
Like,
that's different, bro. That's
And
like,
saved some.
I'm so
It's
glad I
fucking
didn't have to
bullied.
deal with that, bro.
that's
You guys-
another one. That's another one. Like, I have a
That's
12-year-old daughter, and like this has been like a good and a bad thing because like last year she had a whole issue with getting bullied at school and everything,
Nah, that
and
sucks,
then
man.
like now
So what?
like she does. It's kind of like a hybrid thing where like a couple days they go to school, a couple days is online and shit.
Mm.
But it's like
And do they alternate
it-
the kids? Like some
I don't
kids go
know.
some days. I don't think
They
so.
might. I don't know. I don't
I
know.
would
But
think maybe to empty the classes and have
like that to me is like, damn, like you just gotta put yourself in the kid's shoes that it's like that's fucking with them hardcore. Like
It's weird, dude. It's definitely
it's
weird.
so weird.
I
like,
can almost feel like it
Let a
makes
person
them more
to experience
appreciative
that.
to see like human to human connection with
Right.
kids, or unless they get so skewed. Because in the most extreme ways, like bro, this whole pandemic has made people disgusted of others because you just don't even know what that person
Exactly.
has. You know, in that perspective, some kids adopt that ideology as they
Right.
come in, and others just really do miss seeing a homie or talking to somebody.
Right,
you
yeah.
know?
Right, dude. Recess, man,
Yeah.
like weight training, like
I just
talking
think
shit with your buddies.
I
there's
think
pros
about
and cons.
I think about the
social-
kids that are growing up in this time, and I feel like there's gonna be such a level of fear for
Mhm.
sickness. You know, like I remember when I was sick as a kid, I just assumed I was gonna get better soon. Like with getting sick came getting better.
right.
You know,
It
so
builds your immune
I was
system.
never
like
afraid of
being
being
outside, playing in the
Eating
dirt.
dirt.
Yeah, like
Right.
that's
Cold
building
water.
your immune system. You know what I mean?
sick. And now you have people, you know, hand sanitizing every 5 minutes.
Everything,
That doesn't
wiping
even help.
everything.
That-
That sometimes is worse.
That's worse.
Right, yeah, I feel
Yeah,
like it's weakening.
No, it does
germs.
actually. Yeah,
There are good germs.
yeah,
It kills the
exactly.
good
it kills everything.
Right.
So
Yeah,
your body doesn't know what to do.
99.99% of everything.
Yeah, so that 1%.
but then you gotta.
That 1%.
But then it
This
becomes
is
immune.
powerful 1%.
Can we pass those chips again?
Yeah, dude.
It's the 1%. Just like we're gonna be the 1% financially.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%.
It's the 1% of germs. It's the 1% of we get you to the top.
Yo, but what do you guys think about this? So speaking of like COVID and the repercussions of it, apparently with real estate, I'm into real estate. I'm a real estate agent. My
Okay.
dad's a real estate agent, and we want to learn how to invest and just learn the
Right.
game. Apparently, a shit ton of people haven't been paying rent.
Yeah,
There's like
that's-
a huge bubble.
There is a huge bubble.
Like, what do you
It's
guys
gonna
what do you guys think about the?
It's gonna be the exact same thing
As
on that
2000
as 2000
2008.
when George W. Bush. That because they've said that we are due for a recession,
Absolutely.
right?
And they
And
postponed
they
it.
I think we've been.
Yeah.
We were supposed
Been
to like
over
2017,
there.
2018.
Exactly. So when it happens, I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't happen by next year, because
I
because
honestly
you
think it'll be sooner.
they have to get they're gonna get like the vaccine and everything else like that first, and then it's gonna come back to like the norms. Like, oh, now everyone's got to pay.
But see,
'Cause
those,
that's the thing,
like
right?
what you're saying, that's one of the, in my opinion, that's one of the biggest issues that's not being addressed right now.
Not being addressed.
Is like people's livelihoods, like people not being able to pay rent. Like this,
Right.
like stimulus check, cool, whatever. But for people who have been working, that haven't stopped working, that's fine. You know, that's
Yeah.
that's help.
Yeah.
But at the same time, for people who haven't been working, who've been on unemployment, those stimuluses, they'll last them probably 2-3 weeks tops.
Right.
You know, and they're gone.
And then
so then what?
There's a regulation right now where landlords can't kick out their
tenants.
Exactly.
So it's like I can imagine.
And
I don't
banks
know how
can't
many
foreclose on mortgages.
I'm thinking about how many people aren't paying because of that reason.
Exactly, but then you got to think, because from what I have understand is that, you know, you're not paying, but once that ban gets lifted, you have to pay all the shit that you haven't
they're not
paid.
just gonna forgive you.
Exactly.
Right.
So
The-
like
the bank is not our friend.
people are not gonna pay that. Like there's gonna be no way to pay that back.
And there's a lot of people that are hella greedy about it too, though. They're like, oh, I know that I can't, so I'm not going to.
Well,
And they just squat.
And then there's nothing.
Right,
And then there's nothing you can do unless until their contract's up.
Exactly.
And when their contract is like, okay, hey, even though you didn't pay, I don't want you anymore.
But that's only like a select few of people, you know, and then the majority of people who are generally like, you know, in a hard place that can't pay that back, like what's gonna happen to them? You know, that people who have families, like people who like, you know, will have to work 2-3 jobs to fucking support their family, and like it's gonna be it's becoming a snowball effect that people aren't talking about. That once that ban gets lifted, it's gonna be fucking chaos. Like I have a feeling like now you're seeing a spike in crime in the city in itself.
Dude.
You know, people breaking into cars, especially here in Atlanta, stealing all kinds of shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
cousin just got her car broken into like yesterday.
Jesus.
Yeah, in Atlanta.
They stole my gun a month ago right from my car.
Oh no way.
They don't give a fuck.
This man called me immediately after. He was like, bro, what do I do first? I'm like, oh shit.
Now you
Call the
can't-
police.
Call the cops,
Call the cops and get
Report
another
that
gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to buy another one.
There's literally nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, no,
You're gonna venture
but
outdoors
that's
and
the
pray
thing.
you find some ammo.
Yeah, that's the one thing, ammo.
Ammo.
But you start
Hard
to
to
think, it's like, what's going to happen once that bubble does burst? You know, the housing market obviously is going to tank. Like, you know, because people are not going to be able to pay their mortgages, pay their rent.
You know what's
and all
another
that
major
shit.
bubble that's about to come is the student loan bubble.
Yeah.
Because so many people have student loans and they're not paying. You know how many people have been on deferment?
I personally got one that I haven't paid in like a couple months.
You see how Joe Biden was talking
All the
about
way.
they're gonna forgive up to $50,000.
Okay, I'm like,
Yeah.
I pray to
Oh,
God.
how do I go apply for that?
It's like, but
Where's
who
the
though?
application?
I qualify, you know.
I was
But it's like,
saying,
who qualifies for that? You know, like, who was it? Like, I think they asked Biden that, yo!
what I do, baby.
So if you want to know about Bitcoin, that's the man to talk to.
Yeah.
That's the big one guru right there.
I've seen people like doing NFTs from like tweets and like all kinds of different shit. Like
We gotta make some and then put some on music.
Yeah.
Music behind it. You know,
That could be something, yeah, for sure.
Think about doing some stuff like that as well. Like maybe if you do something with like early access to music.
Because they're saying, because at first it was like where just the NFT is just that, right? Like the code and the like a gift, right? But now they're adding
Freddie, nice to meet you, man.
like some people.
Nice to meet you. Freddie, nice to meet you.
But some people are doing to where they get the NFT, but they get something with it. You know what I mean? Like they get if it's a piece of art, they get like a little copy of it or whatever as like, you know, an authenticator.
But the good thing to research is, are you getting the authentication of it, which is the NFT?
Yeah.
Or are you getting the actual display of what you're buying?
Right.
So that's two things that you have to be careful, because somebody can, let's say like Paris Hilton can sell a digital card on one exchange and charge something on one exchange, but then she can duplicate that sale and sell it in different exchanges. So it doesn't make it unique. So she could say, oh, I'm selling one token, which would bring up the value, but in reality, she's selling like 5 different ones for the same thing
In the different exchanges.
in different exchanges.
So you have
So
to
there's a
look
lot
into
of like
So it's no longer
NFTs is
unique though.
huh?
It's no longer unique.
It's
then.
unique to the platform.
But it depends. Like, that's what you're saying. Like,
Yeah,
depends
it's
on which
unique
one
to
you're
the
getting.
to the exchange.
People just need to understand the value between an NFT, which is non-fungible
Fungible
token.
Yeah.
All that is all Bitcoin, but you're buying like the stamp. You're not buying the art. You're buying the stamp.
Yeah,
So
you're
now
buying
I own
the serial
stamp.
number
I own
of that digital asset.
the rights to this. But even though it's not in my house, I still own it.
Yeah.
Weird.
Right.
I mean, to me, it's weird.
It's like our music. Like we have the master files of our song.
Right.
It's encrypted and coded in a certain way because we were the ones that created it in our computer.
We
have the original data.
That's awesome.
We would have to sell somebody that data and that coding for them
Yeah.
to be the owners of that master.
Right.
You know, so I realized like music has kind of always been in that realm of NFTs.
Yes.
It's just it's a digital asset that sells, provides us royalties, and we own it, but it's not a physical thing. So it's like now it's like that same concept is translating to like
to actual thing
art,
like
art, and even other
right,
things like
art
services.
concept,
People
right.
NFT a physical item and attach a service to it. Like
Yeah.
you buy this trophy from me or whatever, and you have
Well, I think
unlimited backstage passes to the concerts with this NFT.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
Or something even more extreme. You ever seen those like dragons that you can like nurture or whatever that people sell?
The Tamagotchis or whatever.
Those are the shit I used to have when I was young.
No, there's like digital NFTs that like dragons that you just breed.
So digital
in.
Tamagotchi.
You
No
breed
shit.
these dragons and you sell these dragons.
Get the fuck out
I
of
think
here.
there's like polka
Cats
dot
too, bro.
maybe exchange. There's like a Uniswap exchange where they exchange those NFT.
Yeah, because I think I've seen like rare like Pokemon cards and shit too being like NFTs. I was like, yo, that's
someone
crazy.
made like the holographic Charizard card, the OG one, sold it for like 1.7
Oh,
million.
Jake
That's
Paul made
Jake
one of himself apparently.
Yeah.
A Pokemon card NFT
Of
of
himself?
himself.
Yeah.
And
That's
sold it for like a shit ton.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's wild. Like
We gotta make a Mucho Info.
Yeah.
Pokemon card.
Yeah,
Mucho Info. What's
With the
gonna be our
Mucho
age
dot.
level? What's our age
Yeah.
level?
Yo,
Oh, with the
Infinity-
Mucho
And then
dot.
you can make a hologram that turns, right? That goes from your logo, and then when it turns this way,
goes the
it
other way.
changes to
Yeah,
like an image of you guys. I mean, like it's like a lenticular lens because it's digital, right? So you can make literally whatever you want.
Whatever the fuck. Right.
You know,
You just
so
need to
it's
find
just-
somebody who's
it's-
capable of
it's
that
a
kind of
niche.
graphic design.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the connect. That's the connect.
Let's go.
But yeah, NFTs is definitely something that something that needs to get ahead on because that's like we
It's
were
your
talking
time to
about.
shine.
It's something that's
Right.
gonna. It's
Yeah,
not
he's
gonna
an
go
artist.
anywhere.
Like
Right, yeah.
it would work to your benefit. You
Yeah.
never know in the future you could be big. And
Exactly.
you sell your new stuff, it'd be more expensive.
Right.
You
Because
know.
I
Facts,
with
big
that,
facts.
I want to do that like with
Yeah.
we want to do that with like ALV. Because even like for example, like I did that painting, but it's one of a kind, right?
Facts,
So that could actually be scanned,
That's
but
fire,
it could
man.
be like for me, I love doing like inverted holograms, right? Where you could scan that, and then like it'll kind of pop out and like talk to you, or because I have like a QR code built into it.
Get that away.
I love Verga
Hey,
podcast.
get that away.
There's a lot like
I could tell.
it puts you
Starting
it doesn't put you in
at
reality,
$500,000.
right? So you can literally do whatever you want.
Dude, it's unlimited.
Yeah, it's literally unlimited. Like with the shit that you can do as
It is
like,
beyond
for
my
NFT.
understanding of why.
Yeah.
The only thing I've been seeing wrong, that's like the only sketch part about it, is that people can put the NFT out, and people that already have money can put so much money into the NFT to drive up the like
Yeah,
the demand
yeah,
of it.
exactly.
And then somebody's like, oh shit, this NFT must be like really dope because it's
Right.
sold for this much. Let me put this much into it to hold it down.
They start
So
being-
they like hyper.
That's programming.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
people don't just
Influence.
do that with NFTs. They do
do
that
that
with all
with
sorts
but
of
no,
shit.
for sure. That's
With
what I'm saying.
stocks.
Like,
They do it with
you can see
stocks.
that, yeah, apparently
With real
that's the thing
estate.
that's really taking over.
That's the whole thing of having GameStop, right?
It's
Yeah,
just new.
yeah.
They all
Yeah.
decided to increase
Some kid
yeah.
on Reddit was like, no, let's.
But it's true though.
We're not
Fire.
fucking
Okay,
short.
Let's fuck the rich people.
Yeah.
The establishment.
Because
That's
they're
what
about
he
to go to
said.
business.
GameStop
GameStop's about to go to business, but there's a lot of people who still love. I love GameStop.
Yo, hell yeah, I got
Brings
memories,
back
memories. Like,
Hell yeah.
man.
It can't be like the next blockbuster. That'd be
No,
fucked
I
up.
mean,
yeah, we missed Blockbuster.
Depends because
Yeah,
you have to
I
understand. Like, is
Blockbuster
GameStop
shit.
actually selling online? I mean, I know they have a lot. GameStop has property, real estate. Like their
Yes.
locations is prime everywhere. You go to any like location.
Yeah.
They're smart. It's kind of
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
same
yeah,
thing with
yeah.
McDonald's, bro.
McDonald's.
They paid a
Every
shit
quarter,
ton in rent. Yeah.
They get there.
They
They save off
first-
the rent because they buy that.
Oh, they
the
buy it
land.
straight
Yeah,
up?
so they save off the rent.
But even
That's
worse,
where
they're
they
not
get
a real estate company.
No,
They need a-
they're hoping. Like I know in Puerto Rico, there's a mall called Plaza Las Americas. It's one of the largest
Plaza
malls
Las
in Caribbean. Yeah, it's one of the largest malls in Caribbean. It has 3 GameStops in it. It has like literally one in the middle,
Well, people
one in the
must be
top,
more
one in the other.
engaged
No, I
in
mean,
that.
people like Wall Street
Yeah,
Bets, like the
Wall Street
Reddit
Bets,
was, they look at the most shorted stock. So they print out this report. It's called like a short squeeze. So everybody's betting against the stock to go down. So all these motherfuckers were like, you know what? Fuck these fucking hedge funds.
Hedge
fucking
funds,
so
yeah.
crazy. So when they try to attack them back, buy all this stuff, go up, bro. They were in like
Bro,
they were in
they-
the hole, bro.
they
They were
shut
trying
it
to lose
down.
billions,
They halted
dog.
fucking Robinhood.
They
And
shut
then-
down.
Bro, because
They were
they own or they provide money
going
to
the moon
Robinhood,
and it froze
bro.
my shit.
I'm stuck in space.
Man.
Yeah.
Dude, we were going to the moon in Nokia, bro.
Yeah,
And
And
they're
that shit
like,
just
you know,
halted.
Robinhood's like, nah,
Yeah,
not all y'all
Robinhood's
getting
like,
rich.
And then when they let it go, I had already lost like $5,000.
Fucking
Damn.
suck. I lost a lot of money on that too,
Kidding
bro.
me? Like these. It was in that moment that all of my conspiracy theories of someone trying to hold me down
Yeah.
came to
Confirmed.
fruition in like one moment. Like, how dare they go this far
Right.
to hold me back? You know, and they didn't even try to hide it.
No, they did.
They do.
They
They
try to
did.
make some
Right.
excuse about it.
Dude,
whatever.
y'all remember some ship got stuck in a canal? Like,
Oh yeah.
Oh.
bro,
That's
Is
another
that planned?
conspiracy.
Oh, it was planned, dude.
Not-
That was
Really?
another
Check out
conspiracy.
oil. Check
Yeah.
out how much it's
Oil's up.
Oil's
Oh,
up.
yeah.
Bro,
Yeah,
they
it's
are
not
like,
US
bro,
oil.
these big players, bro, these market makers,
It's
bro,
so
they,
fucking dirty.
So I
They will
said,
do
that's what I said at the
dirty
beginning,
shit,
right?
bro.
It's 40 checks,
30, yeah.
right?
Or
Like
And
billions
if
of
they,
dollars.
and if they all kind of know each other, they're all going to piggyback off each other.
Yeah.
Everyone knows each other. Everyone's hand is being. You know, it's a great fucking show. Is House of Cards.
Oh, yeah.
If you ever want to like,
Oh.
learn some shit,
You
watch House
You
of
know, I
Cards.
had watched like the first episode of the first season.
Nah, you
It's
need
kind
it.
of boring,
You
but
need
I probably should give it.
It's about the same.
I like-
you
like-
can't judge a whole series or anything.
Off the
Give them
first
like the
episode.
first 3
Yeah.
episodes. Give them the first 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Breaking
It's
Bad, I was close to stop
Breaking
watching
Bad
it
was
after
a slow
I
start.
think after
Dude, but that was
Slow
my
episode
favorite
1 or
all
2,
time.
and then there was an
All
episode
time.
where they killed the first dude. I was like, oh shit, okay,
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah, the
so this
first
is
dude,
gonna
that's
get
what got
good.
it.
So I gave it
Yeah.
a
It
chance.
became one of my
bro.
all-time
Oh,
favorite
yeah.
shows.
Oh,
Yeah.
that shit was dope.
Thanks.
Breaking
Fuck,
Bad
dude.
was the shit.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, like getting back to what you said with the whole the ship and the Suez Canal, like it was stuck. Like, how the fuck did that big ass ship get stuck? Like, did it just?
Now, how do you guys not
the
have
fucking
something-
pilot, the captain was sleeping, and he fucking like
Yeah, what the hell?
Like-
It was drifting.
They blamed
And
it
that
on
shit
winds.
was-
like,
and it
how
He
was-
they
said,
say,
"Hey, check this out, bro."
it was blocked out for.
Fuck
it
it,
was-
they were blaming it on winds. I'm like, have you seen this boat? They got this cargo ship. Like,
Right.
the wind, fuck.
Right.
Yeah,
They had Avatar: The Last
Tsunami
Airbender,
had
right?
it.
Oh, yeah, right.
I know canals had
It was
tsunamis.
like what? And then it was like it halted any kind of transportation for like a week.
Yeah.
It was literally a week.
I mean, you talking
So it just
about
sat there for a
shipments.
It sat there
oil.
for a week, like, and not there was no traffic going through. And the
Minerals.
Suez Canal is a big like highway for
So
like
was
ships.
there like a traffic jam of boats?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it literally,
yeah,
it's like this, and the boat was like this.
yeah,
But
yeah.
did they all
They-
crash
they-
into
they-
each
they
other,
just-
or did they
yeah,
all
they-
slow
no,
down?
No, they slowed down.
they
They stopped
slowed down.
stuff. Yeah.
But they'll be like, you know, the boat's like this, one's here, another one's here. That boat's not moving.
It's not going
Yeah.
They
anywhere.
can't go anywhere.
Yeah,
How
they
did they
can't
even
go
get
anywhere.
off? They
I think they just
Yeah.
moved it, right? It took them like a week.
Yeah, it took them
It took about a
Hell
week.
nah.
So I mean, imagine
How
the
long did it take
implications
a
it
wind to
had,
move
like
this
the
shit?
market, everything, bro.
Yeah.
It took it 5 minutes just to go through the canal.
boat.
It took about a week. Nah, that's
And the
crazy.
thing
He was
with
like
that,
a Mario Kart.
yeah,
They hit a banana.
Hit a banana in the ocean, bro.
it hit a
got ink
banana
in
in the
his face.
canal,
It's
and
just
fucking crashed.
Bro, but they give us money and they pump up our commodities, you know?
Yep.
No, we
Give us
were at
free money.
Costco and it did that. Costco, right when you walk in, had a big ass TV that was $1,500.
Bring your
Yeah,
stimulus
it
right
was
here.
$1,300, right?
Yep.
So
I
like,
got it right here, baby.
you get 86 inch
Whoa.
TVs for $200.
And
Man,
that
I
Covers
saw spots.
taxes, too.
You know, we're in the entertainment business, right? So
Yeah, take
we
TV.
see everything from club promotions, party promotions.
Right.
And when stimulus package drops, like I saw so many clubs promoting. We got the stimulus package.
Right.
You get 3 bottles, 2 hookahs, a table, blah blah blah, $13.99.99.
They still
And I bet you there's people that
But you know the
the
crazy thing.
stimulus package, like the same weekend that everybody started
Yeah.
getting, that's what they promoted.
That's
They come spending
wild.
$1,400.
And motherfuckers were ready though.
Yeah,
They were
yeah, yeah.
excited. I got my stimulus.
Yeah,
Yo, it's like, this is my
Bruh,
check.
I love
They
you,
got
but
them in
man.
songs, man.
Hey, I'm gonna come spend
There's
your
a-
stimulus check.
There's a Twitter bot that like if you would have spent those $1,500 on Bitcoin when the first one came out, it would have been I think $7,000 or $8,000 right now. Your $1,500 would have been that. But people don't want to invest. They just want to go out and
Yeah.
fucked up a la verga, you know.
You know,
They try to go out on me.
Yeah, exactly. I just
On
got
Uncle,
paid.
Maybe
Uncle
not
Trump.
tomorrow.
you know,
On Trump,
whenever Bitcoin shot up to like 22,000, I remember telling myself, I was like, man, I'm not gonna miss my chance in the next Bitcoin type thing that appears in my life. I'm gonna hop on it. I feel like right now that's the NFTs.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like, and I can't allow my conscious mind asleep on it.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
you know,
It's
and
okay.
like
We're gonna
you
make
could
a
always
few
blame
mucho
yourself.
and
NFTs.
act on
There
that
you
shit.
go, bro.
Act on that shit and make these freaking NFTs. Because who knows? Maybe we could make
Yeah.
hundreds of
Yeah.
thousands of dollars.
Dope.
And if not, we got cool art out there. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a
What would be
win-win.
dope is to make group like a MUCHO INFO NFT, but also individual ones. They're like of you guys. Like
And
individual.
they're like the,
Imagine
they're like the
Fighting man's
combination
versus
of
Mars.
Exodia. They're like the Exodia.
You trying to break up that group, bro?
No, not that. It's not having to do
No,
that,
that's
you know?
real. That's real.
I'm
It's like
thinking
it's
of
like
It's like a challenge.
Yeah, like a
Whose
nice like
NFT
Voltron.
costs more?
Yeah.
But it would actually. But if you have every piece to make the whole thing, it would be worth even more.
okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So like,
That's
it would be
actually
like
fire.
you,
That's
it could be
actually
you
pretty
standing
smart.
there, right? And like the person could just rotate it. It just rotates you.
The whole
You know, it's just like imagine having a your own action figure,
Right.
but it's you.
Your own digital.
Yeah.
And then we make a
It's
Power
not hard to
Ranger.
do
Then we
that.
make a Power Ranger version.
There you
and
go.
then a Ninja Turtle version of Mucho Info and a Dragon Ball Z version.
Yeah.
Like literally
Yeah.
fucking Fortnite, bro.
You got a
I
girl
saw
with
that.
a
Literally.
big ass booty wearing a Power Ranger helmet.
You just then you could just make an NFT
fine.
with skins for your, like whatever skin like Fortnite.
Right, whatever skin you want to throw on me, throw it
I
on
saw
me.
somebody that made an NFT.
Quítamela la verga.
Right?
Say that again.
I was saying somebody was making holographic NFTs. So you
Yeah.
know how you put like this little prism on like an iPad or something like that,
Uh-huh.
and they have like an image that's placed around the four sides of it. And
Yeah.
right in the middle of it, if you look in the middle of that prism, you'll see like the actual image, like it's a 3D image.
I mean, think about
So
it.
you could do like the us in that
Ooh.
as like the little spinning image as like
Exactly.
a hologram.
That would be crazy. Yeah.
So like the new iPad Pro, a lot of the new iPads has augmented reality built into it. It has a lens in it, so I can download the IKEA app, and I'm like, all right, I want to know what this cheap ass shelf looks like, in the office.
Right.
I can see it just by holding my iPad.
I've never used that.
Oh,
I've
really?
always seen it
Yeah.
advertised. I've never used it.
It's fire because there's actually
you know what? I think Nike has that same shit too. Because I've seen it to where
John Michael
you can like you can literally like put your foot out and like put your phone to it and then, like it'll show you the shoe on
So
the
you can try on the
Yeah.
Lil Nas.
Hey, I'm gonna get some juicy.
like I got the Dior ones and shit.
You
Like,
get the Lil Nas's.
Yours, bro.
oh, the Lil Nas? Nah.
You can't go down. You're gonna be burning. You're gonna be burning the floor everywhere you walk.
So what do y'all think about that topic?
Man, that's a hell of a fucking
I'm not-
marketing strategy,
Actually,
dude.
That's
Yeah,
what I was
he-
thinking.
I
as
think
far
he's just a
as
troll.
an artist.
Like,
Yeah.
fuck, bro. He's a
He
troll.
wanted attention. He
Look,
got it.
there's 6ix9ine trolling, and then there's Lil Nas X trolling.
Yeah.
But you'd rather
They're
take
both
6ix9ines than that. That's an extreme.
Yeah, that's
That
what he's
is,
saying.
bro.
Hey,
It
what
is.
you like?
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
like, how do
So
you one up
they
something like a
already crossed
6ix9ine
paths.
trolling the way he trolls? Like, you had to go to the most taboo,
Right,
the
they already
religious
crossed
core.
paths. Like 6ix9ine tried to come for Lil Nas, I'm pretty sure, and Lil Nas like released some DMs about
Wow.
6ix9ine.
I
diving
I did
into
see
his
that.
DM.
Yeah.
Like,
He's
I'm
like, I
pretty
love
sure
it.
it might have been like a fake. Like,
Yeah.
He was
Like,
trolling
right,
and
he
that's
made
the
fake-
level of troll. Like he's
Yeah.
like, bro, you don't fuck with the wrong one. I
Yeah.
never did that. Like what, bro?
That
You know,
was
to answer your
but-
question, what I think, I mean, anybody can say what they want about
Right.
the marketing scheme, and I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, it's getting them a lot of attention, but there's a certain line that I can't
Yes.
I'm
cross,
still not with it.
and just I got a cross on my neck. It's
Right.
just I don't just speak about it like I feel like I am about a certain vibration in
Right.
my life, and I
Yeah,
can't
right.
stand for that negativity,
Nah,
man.
nah,
There's just
nah.
too much attached to that.
That's against what we
Yeah,
Like-
what we
that
stand
you
for.
can't play with that. I mean, there's gonna be some kind of consequences that I don't even want to dabble into.
100%.
Yeah, I wouldn't even fuck with that.
You're attracting that
100%.
energy, man.
Exactly.
Just
Like
that
In case you're out there for real, I don't
That-
really fuck
yeah,
with
all the
that.
energy associated to that,
bro,
like,
energy.
Especially that you hear about it a lot in the entertainment industry.
Man,
That's
that's
what's
the scary
what's
part.
disturbing,
Yeah.
bro.
That
That's
is
the
disturbing.
thing.
And
It's
you
like
guys,
hate
as entertainers, have you guys experienced something weird like that or no?
No. I think we're very powerful in what we
He's
attract
like,
to our
no.
lives.
no.
No, I say it like
We all
straight
look
up,
at
like,
each other. What do we
like
like?
we for the
Not
most
just
part,
talking.
we have in my
astronauts.
opinion, we got a pretty pure vibration, and we only kind of seem to attract people like that.
Which
Right.
is good.
From And what we're I've And experienced,
we're
really quick to figure out who's who and what's
And
what.
we're quick to cut the
Because we're-
bullshitters and
we're
anyone with
fine.
that weird vibes.
That's
the
why
weird
you
vibes,
guys, because you know we're in a
we just,
Right.
Yeah.
but I'm sure, bro, someone's gonna offer us some crazy, weird opportunity shit, and we're just gonna have to consider our values and be
Right.
like,
I'm sure
man,
there will be
like, I ain't-
temptation.
No, there's
Yeah,
definitely.
I don't know,
But,
like,
that's
I
the
don't
good
know.
thing about being a group and being a team. Like these are my cousins, so I've known them since we were in diapers.
Yeah, you
Like,
guys know how we're all related? We talked about that, right?
No,
Yeah. Well,
a
no,
little
no,
bit.
tell us.
So-
We'll get
We haven't
more
talked
into
about it live, right?
So these
No,
two here
go
are
ahead.
brothers, right?
Yeah.
Same parents, literally.
Right?
Nice.
Okay, their dad.
That doesn't happen often.
Not nowadays. Crazy.
That's dope that you guys got that vibe, bro. My kids
Yeah.
are fighting each other all day, dog.
Shit.
I mean, we're older now.
Is that
so
what-
we-
they'll grow.
I'm sure they, I'm sure y'all were like,
We're grown.
Yeah.
We're grown now. You know.
So these two are brothers. They're my cousin. This is my cousin here.
First cousin.
First cousins. And then DZ, fraternity brother with
Yeah.
these guys.
We founded a
Okay, so-
fraternity, Phi Delta Theta at Georgia
I was
Southern.
gonna say, I was like,
Georgia
I was like,
State?
what? No,
Georgia
Georgia
Southern.
Oh,
yeah,
Georgia
Georgia
Southern.
Southern,
Okay.
yeah. We met DZ. He was already producing super fire beats. Edgy was already producing super fire beats, and we would just love to smoke weed and freestyle.
Yeah,
But I mean,
yeah.
like I said, growing up, we've been together all our lives. Like we were
Yeah.
all born in Boston, and then within like a 3-year time span, we all moved down here to Georgia. Then we lived together. Some of us we went to school together, went to church together, sang in the choir,
Uh-oh.
so played soccer. Everything in our lives has been together. So it's like growing up with that too. You know somebody.
Right.
I know the ins and outs of these guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're the same. So they know. We know like we're in a much more unison, and we have that mastermind alliance. So when we're in any situation or however we move, we all move as one.
That's
Yeah,
good.
it makes
That's
it-
good
makes it
because
very
that
easy.
creates that barrier.
It
Like,
does.
nah, like
Don't
get
get
that
in.
bullshit
We're like
out.
we're like the unit with eyes and ears open in all directions. So like to
Exactly.
loop it back to the question of like have we been across that weird shit?
Yeah.
I feel like we haven't gotten into the level of that space of weirdness.
Right.
You know, we came across people with bad intentions or people who want to take advantage, or
100.
people who have a different agenda outside of ours and they're
That
claiming
don't
to
relate
be
to
on
our
our
brand.
side.
Right.
And then, you know, but because we have what we call our mastermind sessions on a weekly basis, and
Oh, that's dope.
we share everything together, like we are a mastermind alliance. You know,
Hell
we
yeah.
speak on
Like Napoleon Hill's man.
we speak
Right.
on our spirituality together. We speak on like our emotional stability, like how we are together in our roles. Like we are at the next level awareness of who we are and what we want. So like we quickly see through the
And that-
bullshit.
as
And
a-
we cut
and we
people out,
adapt.
Yeah.
and we don't burn bridges because
Right.
I don't think anyone who knows that we know what's up with them knows that we know what's up with
Right,
them.
right.
You know
And that's
what I'm saying?
that's the ace. That's the ace on the sleeve
Yeah,
because
you know what I'm
you
saying?
know you can use it to your advantage at that
Hey,
point
yeah.
if needed.
But
If
you know what I
needed.
mean? But that's how we walk, man. We
Yeah.
just, we keep it confident, we keep it humble, and we're just about our shit, man. We're about our craft. The music speaks for itself.
Yeah.
And we
You
got
guys'
a lot of
music is
vibes on
dope.
it.
It's
Thank you.
real
Thank you.
dope.
Thank you.
Real dope.
You guys see the
you,
newest
bro.
video?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
newer video. That
Look
shit
what the-
fire.
I've seen it a couple
fire,
times. I was like,
fire.
I
Hey, chill, edit it,
My
sister's gonna watch it, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro.
No, yeah, you guys' music is dope. One of my favorite tracks is "Bet on Me."
Oh, bet.
I've listened to that one a bunch of times. I'm like,
Bet.
oh,
You know that song had a
What did
little.
you do?
That song, our streams on that song had a nice little spike on Super Bowl weekend.
okay.
Yeah.
I guess a lot of people were betting, so they wanted to hear
Yeah.
a betting song.
Yeah.
So they Spotify bet on me, bet on, and they found us. I was like, 100,000 towards
It's
you
what
know
That's what
my
I
Florida Patriots.
They play some games on me.
So now we know next year we gotta be
Patient.
strategic and use those Super Bowl times.
Yep,
Like throw
yep,
some
yep.
ad money
That's
behind
it,
that
yeah,
song
yeah,
around
yeah.
that, you know.
No,
Some
but
Super Bowl related shit.
So how long have y'all been? When did you guys move from Boston here? All together at one time or slowly?
So
like,
he was first. Was it like 99?
But roughly within the same
It was
two.
We came down here in
I
2000.
came here in 2002. Yeah. that's
So
dope.
yeah, since 2000, basically,
Yeah.
like 20 years. This.
A lot of people came around that time.
Jonah came
That
like
was
2
a
years
boom.
after.
Yeah.
At the end of 2003. It was
That's
like-
when they said all the computers are gonna break. I remember getting here. We were here like 3 days before New Year's in 2000.
Oh.
I was
Oh, the
scared. I couldn't
Y2K.
sleep that night. I was a little kid, bro. I'm like, oh my god, are we gonna blow
What's
up?
gonna
Bro, we were little as
I
fuck.
still want to know that.
We were
DZ
little,
lived-
yeah, playing.
DZ lived basically in Jacksonville up until like 2-3 years
like,
ago.
Yeah, like the border, literally the border of Florida and Georgia.
You know,
Oh,
the crazy,
Florida, Georgia
the crazy
line.
thing is when we
Yeah.
started making music, you know, we're family and
Little
we're based,
duel.
and we're family with DZ now. We're all family. We
Yeah.
when we first started dropping music, DZ moved all the way from Jacksonville to live in a house where all 4 of us were roommates. So
Oh,
we had
wow.
a 4-bedroom home, and DZ stayed, literally crashed on our couch for like 2 months while he got a job
Yeah, I was
here.
doing
And he
interviews.
literally came in like he was balls deep. He was like, "Fuck it, I gotta leave. I gotta leave here and be over here where these guys got the studio."
Sleeping
making
in the
music."
living room.
So now he's
studio
got
in
his
the
own
basement.
place. You know,
Oh,
it's like
hell
it's a
yeah.
cool story that he's got.
Yeah.
But we
yeah.
lived literally together every day. We went to our jobs and like came back at 6 p.m. to 2 in the morning. We were in the studio in our own basement.
Late as fuck.
Hustling, bro.
High
Like
as hell.
nobody
That-
had to drive anywhere. And
yeah.
then we made a fire ass catalog, and now
Shit's taking
We're
off.
dropping Se Lo Comes.
And
Se lo
even
come, se lo come.
before all that, bro, like before we decided we wanted to take a journey into this entertainment industry, because we know how wild and how
Right.
wide the path
Yeah.
can be, but we came up with a mission. We came up with a mission that we want to share with everybody that we meet with our music and how we inspire, and that's to create ripples of love that empower humanity through creativity, servitude, and excellence.
I love that.
Hold on.
Say it. One more time.
Say it
That
one
sounded
more
good as
time.
a dog.
I fuck with that shit.
You gotta.
I fuck with that shit. Hit the boom. Hit the boom.
You can't hear
That's
it,
milk,
but
not
you
boom.
can.
No, that was good.
But no, but for real, our mission is to create ripples of love that empower humanity through creativity, servitude, and excellence.
I love it.
Yeah, bro.
I love it.
So how do you see doing that in the next 10 years?
Well,
Like, what's the goal with it?
honestly, the goal, because we're working towards wealth, ultimately use our wealth for humanitarian purposes, planet restoration, making sure that we do what good people do and give back to the world.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
I
icons
know.
of the world.
Right, bro.
Right.
The way I was raised, I stick with what my parents came, because my parents came from, our family came from nothing, bro.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're first generation.
From frijoles and arroz.
Hell yeah.
Right.
For
Yeah.
real.
That's how we all are.
And the
Yeah.
way that we want to get started on doing it now, it's like we do small things that are like community service based. So right now we're planning on doing like a clothing drive.
Okay.
So we're gonna get a lot of like all of our old fashioned clothing that we no longer wear, bring it together, and then ask our fans and our followers, our mucho nuts is what we call them.
Mhm.
So if you guys are mucho
Yeah,
nuts
yeah,
for life,
yeah,
you're
I'm
with
gonna get
us.
that tattooed.
Hey, I can get on the
Hey,
ass
we
right there.
we both astronaut brothers, bro. We got.
Hey, I love it.
That's
Let's
our
go.
logos, bro.
So we want to do that so that we can then go and give it out to the homeless in Atlanta.
That's
you
awesome.
know?
That's
Just-
awesome.
and
Yeah, let us
so we'll
know.
let
I
you know
got
when that
plenty-
date is,
yeah.
and we'll
Yeah,
put together
yeah.
a weekend, and we'll drive to you guys to pick up whatever bags you got, trash bags.
Even
Yeah,
though we
we'll
come
join
with
you.
you guys,
Yeah.
like.
Hey, you
that'd
guys,
be
we'd
dope,
love to
that'd
have
be
you,
dope,
bro.
that'd be dope.
There's a lot of them out there in Atlanta now.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah,
lot.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
a lot.
and
Under the
everybody,
bridges hanging out.
everybody could use a little break sometimes.
Absolutely,
So we can-
absolutely.
We can help in any way.
Yeah.
And in the long term game, we want to become an influence of like what people idealize as cool. We're party, we're lit, we're mucho info, but we have that deeper purpose. That's why we're mucho info. Most people don't know the info behind.
You gotta
it.
use that. You gotta use that as your.
It's TMI. It's too much
Right,
information.
right, right,
Mucho,
right.
but I don't know the
Yeah, where did the name
Yeah,
come
where'd the
from?
name come from?
So I think you can start
Yeah,
us
so
off.
originally we wanted to, I came up with the idea of the name TMI, just too much information, and we wanted to put like quality content behind our music and like be woke as fuck. But we realized like that's not the most, I guess, marketable brand at first.
Yeah.
That doesn't have a wide
And
audience.
a wide audience, and also the name itself wasn't marketable. If you Google TMI, you're gonna find a shit ton of
Everything.
stuff.
Yeah,
So,
TMI.
so we wanted to think of something marketable, bilingual that really represented us, and he came up with the idea of mucho info. It's just TMI, but like maybe it's Spanglish.
Spanglish. I like it.
And that's,
Yeah,
that's almost,
and
it's
that
almost
is
like-
what we are. We are Spanglish. Like it's
Right.
our brand.
Yeah.
And
'Cause you have songs in English too.
exactly.
He's even picking up Spanish, man.
He's learning. He's writing
He's
Spanish.
Dominican.
He's got no choice.
Writing in
He's
Spanish,
Dominican.
speaking in Spanish.
Yeah, by association.
You'll fit in real
Yeah.
good in the DR.
Where are you guys from? Like your
Dímelo,
parents?
Tigre.
Salvador.
Mexican. Salvador.
Mexico
Yeah.
and Salvador, same.
Badass.
And DC is
Jacksonville.
Jackson.
He was a J-Dub.
Actually, you're not a robot, but where's your family from?
Okay. So my dad's side's from Louisiana and South Carolina, so like Creole kind of that
Yeah.
area. And then my mom's literally from that area, same Jacksonville, Florida.
No
Oh,
shit.
wow.
So born and raised right there. So
You
my-
ever done
my,
like an
even deeper though,
Ancestry.com?
My grandmother's from like Texas.
Got it.
Like
Texas.
You
Okay.
ever done any kind
That's
of
interesting.
Not yet. I
ancestry.com?
really
Deep
want to.
American.
That would actually be a very interesting conversation to have with her.
Yeah.
How did she end up in Texas?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know,
I gotta
because
figure
I
out-
can
really
tell
wanna
you,
figure out
you could
details.
find out automatically where Jacksonville, Florida. I mean, because that was
Right.
a slave town at
Yeah.
one point. You know, so you automatically know that's there, but she left.
Right.
You know, so that'd be an
Yeah,
interesting
she probably
conversation to
got a
have. with
crazy story.
Right. Bro.
Especially with a French last name.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, she got a French.
Right.
What's
Who's
his?
that?
On my dad's side is a French last name, Duzard.
Ooh,
Yeah,
oh
so
yeah.
That's why
Oh
it came out
yeah.
easy. I just got rid of all the other letters.
Is Duzard for sure French?
Yeah, it's
It
French
is?
Creole. It's like Louisiana French.
Oh, okay.
Louisiana.
Did you Google it or did you DuckDuckGo it?
I searched my lineage from my
So you
dad's
got-
side to all the way down to my granddad,
Yeah.
and then
That's
like,
dope, dude.
they had all family in Louisiana and everything.
I don't
So
trust
that's where you
Ancestry.com.
get your music
Yeah.
from, huh?
something like that.
Louisiana?
Yeah, my dad, exactly.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Blood,
roots
man.
wise, yeah, it's most definitely got to be my blood. 'cause it's-
Yeah.
There's talent all on that side.
Okay. There's a lot of musicians in your family.
On my dad's side.
Okay.
For sure.
Bro, and
Were they
our
big in
family-
jazz out there?
Everyone.
It's like big. Was it jazz?
You guys got
Like,
musicians in your
Wire, bro.
family?
Man, we started making music when we were like 5-6 years old. We were in the
Okay.
choir at our church.
Okay.
So he played the piano, he played
Nice.
the bass, he played the guitar, and I sang. And everybody sang, but I would sing like the psalms up on the altar by myself.
Right.
How would you guys learn? You guys had like a teacher to teach you guys how to play, or just
Well,
like
his dad played guitar, and his dad.
Yeah, our dads were actually the choir instructors.
Oh,
okay.
man.
So they played the guitar and led everybody. You know, we could never fall asleep at church.
But we kind of figured it out by ourselves, like
Yeah.
playing with them.
Right, yeah.
we learned to sing
We learned all
harmonies,
that
and
just
like
by being out there every week, practicing like 2-3 times because we have the practice during the week. And then
Sometimes
sing
we
at
go to church Saturday and Sunday.
playing.
You know, it's crazy.
Let's
Also,
Let's go get
like,
down.
Oh, you were jamming.
It's crazy to really
Jumping
hear them
in the
explain
name
their
of
stories
the
as
Lord.
well, because like I just also hear more stuff. I'm like, dang, that really lines up exactly with my childhood was too.
Yeah.
My dad was a choir instructor as well, and also
Oh wow.
sang.
Oh,
Y'all didn't know that?
I didn't know that
Yeah.
part.
Oh,
Oh, you
okay.
didn't know-
Yeah,
we
like-
knew that he was in the choir,
Yeah, I
church
was in the
choir.
choir,
Okay.
like, growing up as well. Played guitar in the church as well. Like, so I mean, grew up in the church atmosphere, learning all that kind of stuff.
Similar
but never like
roots.
music theory.
So
Yeah.
theory for sure.
Yeah, we grew up super religious,
Yeah.
you know, and now we walk by our own personal faith, our personal relationship with God.
That'd be another conversation for another.
Yeah, that we can dive into that one another
I'm
time.
not
But
saying
no, the
no,
reason why I
think
wanted to
that's
touch
true.
on that is
Yeah.
because of that foundation, I think,
Absolutely.
that we had, and we can speak confidently on that we grew up in that environment, and we were put inside that environment to then also express our talents for something we genuinely
Right.
believe in. I think is allowing us to like take all that like peaceful, joyful, faithful ideology of moving forward into this dream. Like that's why
Right.
we're so passionate about our dream.
No,
Because
that's
we found
awesome.
our purpose through that originally, and then as a group, we've just earned everything else.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
One of the things that I respect is the fact where the music shows how harmonic you guys are with each other,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because you'll see a lot of reggaeton artists and so that they'll collab, right?
Right.
But they don't. Some of them don't really sync because they're different,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they don't work to their strengths. They just you got
Just
that
do
16
your
bar
thing.
slots and
Yeah.
you're good,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But when you listen to it, like you can hear it, like it flows.
Yeah.
It's almost like if it's one person, but it's a group.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how you want that whole Voltron type, like Wu-Tang, you know,
Right.
like the reggaeton Wu-Tang.
The reggaeton, Black Eyed Peas mixed with the Beatles.
There you
know,
go.
You guys got to come out to a show one of
Yeah,
these days.
most definitely.
You know,
Next
when
show.
we have our headlining shows, we play instruments and we dance
Oh,
and we
for
sing.
sure.
So,
Oh shit.
you know, so I don't know if you know our roles and how we make music.
No. Tell us.
So I'm a singer-songwriter. I'm
Okay.
generally the hook man. You know, he's a lead producer.
Okay.
Yona is a singer-songwriter. He usually pops off the first verse with some crazy flow.
Yeah. He's got
Hex-
good ass flow,
I
bro.
appreciate the
Hex is the guitarist, but he also raps. DZ is an engineer producer. He's the co-producer generally for most of our tracks, but everybody's vocally present on the records.
Yeah.
So we are like a choir in moments. You know, some of us just tend to write a little more than others, so we tend to have the verses or the choruses.
Right.
But we move like a band.
That's
Right?
awesome.
Like,
We're a
hit the
music-
harmonies,
we're a
we
super
try
group
to
is what we
sound-
call it.
It's like
Yeah.
you said too. It's like we work with our strengths. It's not
Right.
just everybody
Exactly.
just trying to do this, fit in this, that, and the 3rd.
Mhm.
You know, over the last 3 years, we really not only now because we know each other, we work on our strengths, but we've all been able to go into our role balls deep and like really work with each other's talents. So that's why we've seen such a spike in the quality of music over the last year.
And the
And
cohesiveness of what you're saying.
Right,
No,
and all that was found too through quarantine, which is a blessing for us. In
Yeah,
disguise,
us
you know,
too. It's a
pro
while
and a
we
con,
were,
yeah.
you know, we were really picking up a lot of traction last year. We got a performance out. That performance landed us a podcast interview, and then we were gonna go to another show, and then somebody else wanted us on their show, and then COVID hit, so we stopped. But then it managed, like, we have a home studio, so all we did was music, bro.
Right.
Stay home together,
Yeah.
make music, play basketball outside, come back in, make more music, and really hone in on where our talents lie.
And really
To make that
tune your
mucho
craft.
sound, bro.
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
bro.
These cats want to get clapped.
You know what?
You play basketball, you better watch out.
Oh, y'all come on.
Hey.
I play basketball, but I can't hoop. So
That's
there's a difference in there.
Right.
Hex and I are like we can't fully hoop. We about who, you know.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten the P yet.
See?
Yeah. No, and you know what's crazy about like making music as a band is that I've never been a solo artist, you know. But we all know that with our own innate abilities, like at some point if we wanted to, I could drop an album, he can drop an album, he can drop an album. You know, but we're gonna definitely run with Mucho Info forever. You know, like there's always gonna be Mucho Info albums.
Yeah.
But since we all are individual artists within this band,
Right.
like being a band is like forces us to make the most perfect product because
For
someone's
sure.
not going to be satisfied with
For sure.
mediocre. So it's
Right.
like if I put something, if I write something that's a chorus and it's like lit and I like it, but Yona hears it, he might just be like, I like it, dude. It's smooth, but something about that last piece, I just think it can end
Right.
better. You know,
Right.
so I rethink it. I put my ego to the side. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
I fucked with it, but let me try what he's got to say. If I can't come up with something better, so be it. We're
Right.
going with what I came up with. But if I do, you're right. That
Mhm.
shit's lit.
And that's
You know?
I feel like that's how it should be because you know you guys like you said you bounce ideas off each other. You guys work as a unit, so it's like you know that's extremely important. And as long as you keep that up through your process, you guys the sky's the limit for
So you
you
guys do like features, like let's say like Migos, like Quavo would do something on the side. Is that kind of what you guys do? Or
We do.
Some people
Yeah,
do
okay.
that.
We definitely envision that for sure.
We actually already do individually. Like DZ, you produced for a few artists, and Hex has been on.
He was mixing for someone today.
Yeah, actually, just
Yeah.
just like for somebody
He's
else.
randomly on the guitar tracks for some other people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Randomly featured.
Okay.
I was working with some other artists today, helping them produce something. So we all kind of, with our strength, we also are reaching out
Yeah.
in the industry.
That's where the connections.
Yeah,
are.
so
exactly.
if anybody wants a beat, they're gonna hit up Edgy or DZ. You know,
Okay.
if anybody
Right.
wants a verse, generally they're gonna come after Yona and I. If anybody wants anything to do with guitar, Hex is the guru. He's gonna show up and pull up some kind
Hell
of
yeah.
riff on it with
But
a
it's
producer.
cool, though.
But that's good because that's where you guys end up basically like feeding off of each other.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So like, hey, I got a guy, he needs a verse, blah blah blah. Hey,
It
come through.
becomes a company.
It becomes your
Mucho
network.
Info
It
Music
becomes your
LLC.
network.
It is,
Your
yeah.
network.
And
Why
it
not?
is,
It's
it is
crazy
our
about it,
company.
like you said,
That is,
we're
yeah.
gonna be Mucho forever. So I definitely I see how the Migos are doing it, right? They had their time, like they blew up as the Migos. Every
Right.
song, every feature, it was always all three. Then came down to they're doing their own single projects, and they're about to drop Culture 3.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
at the end of the day, they go off and do their ventures. They're gonna come back and Mucho's still gonna be like that same like that household name where anytime you know that they're doing another reunion, or
Yep.
another joint
Yeah.
album together.
Oof, it's gonna be crazy.
Just how you cover more
Right.
ground.
It's gonna be
It
crazy.
works.
Yeah,
It works
that's
for some people, and then it doesn't work for others. You know.
And it comes with that level of trust, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It does.
absolutely.
That's something he had mentioned earlier was about that putting the ego to the side.
Yeah.
And that's because we trust each other and knowing that we're not here saying things to harm each other or just bad mouthing ideas. And I think it's just that we believe in our sound, we believe in the song, and for the betterment of Mucho as a whole, we're gonna come up here and try to get the best thing
Hell
possible.
yeah, that's
we
how
have
you
to
gotta do it.
learn to be humble enough to be like, okay, maybe you're right. Put that ego to the side, trusting each other, and that's how it works, bro.
Like
Yeah.
Before you walk through the door,
Check your
you know,
ego.
Check your ego.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes that's the hardest thing to do, especially in you guys' industry. But yeah, you know what I mean?
This
Yeah, the
industry
industry
ego.
is
It's all about
It's a big
attention.
ocean. It's a big
You're,
ocean.
Yeah.
The way that you win in this game of music is through the attention of others.
Right.
So it's you're constantly fighting and investing into being exposed to have more attention.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just feeding the ego at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
you really got to have it in check to understand why.
Yeah.
you're doing
Yeah,
it.
100%. 100%.
You only put it on like when the lights are on type.
Right. You
Yeah.
flip it on
Right.
consciously.
Yeah.
It's
Hell
not hard.
yeah.
Just people you kind of learn those little ins and outs of those nuances. That's why I
can't get
really
lost in the
enjoy.
sauce.
Oh yeah, that's why I really enjoy, like Wu-Tang's story. How they met. A lot of them hated each other. You know?
Oh yeah, I saw
Yeah.
the documentary.
If you've never watched it on Hulu, like they have their first season, and the RZA was the one that created it, and it's deep because I never knew it, and it's the same similarity where it's like, hey, if we come together, we're doing something different that no one else is doing right now in our industry. Because it was like during then it was like that poppy type of hip hop, They were coming with something a lot harder, but then at the same time they're like, no, we can also do this, and it could be Wu-Tang presents, Raekwon. Wu-Tang presents Ghostface. It would be the exact same thing. It'd be Mucho Info presents.
Exactly.
So the name is always there.
There'll
Because
be a time for that, the right
sometimes
time for that.
unfortunately, it does happen, right? Where you have fans that might like somebody else better than somebody else, know.
Right.
But at the same time, the money's still going to the actual source.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Some people don't have it, some people do, because they realize like, okay, we can utilize what we have to make it grow, right? Then spread it out to find other avenues, and it still comes right back in. You can come it out, bring it back in.
No,
Good,
but we're like in a mutual agreement that Mucho is like Mecca for all what we're trying to do, and just like everything we
It's your
do,
foundation.
we feed into it.
and
Yeah.
will feed us.
Right.
Mucho Info
Yeah.
operates as a band as far as how we entertain,
Yeah.
but the way we operate as a business within ourselves is as a label.
Mm.
So we are individual artists, but the way that we put on this party and the way that we create this movie is as the band.
I
You know,
love
that's what the people love. They love to see that. I mean, even when we hit the stage, like I see other artists perform, and it's no disrespect to any solo artist. It's just being a solo artist, you're one person.
Yeah.
So you have to have a great routine. You have to have, you know, maybe some dancers with you. You have to have a nice light show.
Shit ton of energy.
A shit,
Yeah,
a shit ton of
exactly.
energy.
Yeah,
But with
that's
5
nice.
people, we breaks into choreography. People go crazy. And he starts hitting some shit on the keys. Hex is ripping it on the guitar. He's hitting the drums. Me and Yon are hitting the dance, and we're rapping and spitting. Like, people are like, wow, like.
Yeah.
You know, they don't even know what's going on.
Right,
They're like,
right,
who
right.
are these guys? They look like NSYNC pulling up to the stage.
Yeah.
And then we
The
start hitting
Latino
that hard
NSYNC.
shit.
Go on.
It's like NSYNC pulled up and now they want to perrear. You know? Now they're trying
Hey,
to
what
twerk.
do you feel like, right? I feel like if I was to get on the stage with all the lights, I'd kind of be a little. Were you guys shocked at first? Kind of like.
Like, it's
Yeah,
your
I
first.
was-
What was your first show?
I'm
like?
sure after you're like.
We really want to know the
Yeah.
stories.
Our first show.
Explain that
Like,
first
I'd be
one.
Yeah, the
Oh
first
my
show.
God.
How was you guys' first
So our
show?
first show was at a cafe, Gas Cafe out here, man. So it doesn't even have a stage. It has a section of the floor sectioned off by LED lights. Okay, that was our stage. And like growing up too, I was a real shy kid, man. Maybe like the last 6-7 years, I really grew out of my shell. But that internal part of me, I was still like struck with stage fright growing up to myself. I was always nervous to perform or not perform, but present projects in school.
Right,
In front
right.
of the same kids that I've been friends with for 4 years. You feel
Right.
me? And I still get nervous.
Yeah.
I just remember being up on that floor, right, just chilling up there, and right before my part comes on, it's those 1 or 2 words that come out shaky because you can hear it in the voice. It just shakes a little bit. But it's like after 20-30 seconds into it, the adrenaline kind of rushes, takes over.
Yeah.
Your confidence comes back in, and you're cool.
You
with
enjoy it.
Yeah.
Man.
So nowadays,
Was that
too-
year 1? Like of Mucho Info? Was that year 1?
Tell them about
year
the time
one.
you forgot
Oh,
your
bro,
lyrics.
no, I was getting to that. So the first time it was like, okay, cool. That was kind of, I had really had to push through that first performance.
Yeah.
The second one,
He was
fucked
constipated.
up, bro. It was bad, man.
Hey, our
and
first
I never did
podcast
it.
was trash, but hey,
Here
here
we
we
are.
are.
Here the
Here we are.
Here we go.
I will never do this
It was
again.
6 hours long.
I will never do this again. But I procrastinated on the song we were gonna perform that night, and I couldn't get my lyrics down.
You wrote it the same day?
I wrote it. I finished the lyrics 30 minutes before we had to go to the place to go perform. And we get there, right? So of course, since I wrote it, it's not that we don't have any backtracks like that. It's literally just instrumentals. Comes my part. I remember the first 4 words, and I forget. And I literally sit there as the beat's playing. I lose my own words, man.
He looks at me.
And I
This is
look
before
at
he
him.
looks at me,
I
he
look
goes,
at him, but he's like, he can't help me. They don't know the lyrics.
I didn't
Just
like it.
fine.
This is before we had choreography, so it was just we all standing still.
We were in the middle of a booth of a hookah lounge. Just,
Yeah.
I said it like this. Yeah, I didn't hear your tree.
Damn.
Damn.
he looked at me and said, damn. And I was
Yeah,
like,
he just used this
I
as a
can't help you here, bro. You're on your own.
Oh my
Never
God.
again. But honestly, I got through my worst one, so now nothing's that bad.
I forgot my lyrics one time too. In our first few months of performing, and it was a similar situation. It was a new song, but I just remember I forgot my lyrics, so I turned around and I faced the opposite side of the crowd and danced a little bit and turned back around when I remembered my lyrics. You know, I was like, I hope nobody knows. I was looking at them behind me. They're just like, you forgot your lyrics. I could see it. They knew what was happening. I was like, man.
Who's your? I mean, I'm sure there's teams that people don't see, because who helps you to find, it's find you're talking about Kentucky and finding those promotions and finding the places to go.
A manager? You guys have a manager? I
I'm
guess
assuming.
you would say?
We have managing partners.
Okay.
So we as a company, we're already 5 board of directors. So in order for somebody to really full on manage every aspect of our business is tough, because we already cover so much ground. So we work on a case by case basis with people based on what they can bring to the table. So we have our marketing, our digital marketing, social media manager. So he really leads us in how we can keep expanding our presence online. Then we have another partner who helps us connect with a lot of A&R stuff. So we have a friend named Jason. He's a managing partner of ours, and he's been helping us with the rollout of our releases. We have a buddy named McIvan. So he's another managing partner of us. He's always A&R connecting us to this studio,
What's
this
A&R?
studio. A&R is artist and repertoire.
Yeah.
So it's somebody who specializes in connecting people to people in this industry.
Right.
So it's like, hey, I know Future, I know Mucho Info. Oh, man, I can get you on a feature with Future. Just let me get a percentage of this.
okay.
So that's the middleman.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
they know
yeah,
people
yeah.
that have relationships, so they're able
Or
to
they're
thrive.
connected to like record labels,
Record
and then it's like,
labels.
they're like a representative for the label. They
Right.
can find artists,
Gotcha,
and they're
okay,
like the
okay.
middleman between the
Yeah.
label and the
And
artist.
the artist.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have our videographer who's let off, who's fired. So we
Oh,
we
man.
work,
Yeah,
we work with
that's
him every
cool.
video now because we went through a few videographers, and although they were great, it's just we always wanted more. And at this level, he's giving us more than we ever expected. So it's like
He's
everything
the one
was
that
Vivo.
filmed your last one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, he killed that shit. Yeah.
Oasis, the one in the pool, and then Ponte.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
He killed that
each
last
time,
one. That
it's
last
just
one was
getting better and
fire.
better,
Dude,
man.
he's clean, bro.
Yeah.
So,
Is your videos in Spotify too, like the actual video?
It's going to. It'll
Oh, that's
be uploaded on like Apple Music.
Mm.
We'll have it on Tidal.
Yeah.
Vivo. It's gonna be on Vivo soon too. So any day now, you'll see it up on
Gotcha.
there.
How do you do that? How do you put videos on
You know what, man?
Apple?
That's
You have
something
to have
we
a
haven't
partner.
done
Yeah,
ourselves.
distribute. You have to
Either
have a
like
distributor.
a-
Bigger, bro. I'm sure
You
that's
have to deal with
fucking
some
bitch.
company.
So there's like an
that's-
online company, or there's like the old school traditional like distribution companies that have their online platforms. as
So
well.
basically, people can stream y'all's music anywhere.
Anywhere,
Right now.
everywhere. Mucho Info at Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. Check us out on Instagram,
There it is.
Facebook,
Arroba Mucho Info.
Arroba
And if you
Mucho
check our
Info.
YouTube, there actually is more music that we have only released on YouTube than on
Okay.
other
Nice.
platforms. We have
Yeah.
special releases that we do
Exclusive
on YouTube.
releases on YouTube.
That's good to know.
Yeah, para la comunidad latina we make reggaeton, hacemos trap latino, nos
Yeah.
encanta la
Latino.
fiesta y andamos en todas las fiestas en los clubs de Atlanta. So,
Yep.
si nos quieren buscar en Havana, en Believe, donde
Okay.
que tú quieras,
¿Dónde
different
dijiste el
parties.
otro? ¿El que sigue?
¿El cual? ¿Cuál es?
Yeah, what's your up and
next
coming event?
show?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
our upcoming event, vamos a abrir la tarima para Jay Alvarez. So, el
Oh,
15
weón.
Opening for
Yeah.
Jay
el 15 de mayo, va a ser en...
That's
May 15th?
Yeah, man.
My birthday's the 14th.
Hey,
We
let's
in there.
celebrate!
We in there.
Happy
We in there. We in there.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, we'll get you guys on our list. Y'all come
Hey,
out.
we
You'll
don't want
be
to knock
our
on the door and
guest.
be like, hey, we know
Sure.
Mucho Info.
For
Like,
Jay,
yo,
we got a list.
They're gonna be like, who?
yeah.
I'm like a little cucaracha right here. I'm like, I'm coming too. Like,
Just walk in.
Where is that at?
yeah.
That's gonna be at that's
Johnny's
at
Sports Bar.
Johnny's Sports Bar.
Send
So
them.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Hell
it's gonna be
yeah.
a tight little intimate spot. You know, it's gonna
Yeah.
be.
Those are the
Those are the best
Yeah,
ones.
those are the best.
Those are the
You know,
best
crowded
ones.
is.
Yeah. When you're hanging out with, when you're watching somebody big, but in like in a small hole in the wall or something.
Man, those
like
are the
the tabernacle.
best.
Isn't that-
I love the
Yo, you connect
tabernacle.
with the artist more. Like you're
Yeah.
right there. Like,
I've never been to the tabernacle.
You never been in the
Oh.
tabernacle,
I've
man?
I've never been to.
Way
Some
too
of
much.
some of the best concerts I've been to.
I
at the
religiously
tabernacle.
have gone there just because of.
Where's
I saw. I mean, I'm Hispanic, right? I mean, think about how small that place is. I saw Ricky Martin, and he was still like in his higher prime, and
Jesus,
it's like
when was that? Like fucking 87?
no,
You
You got
dinosaur.
watching Ricky Martin in a little venue?
2007,
all the
2008.
Gen Z right now is like,
I saw Mark Anthony.
Ricky
Yeah.
Martin.
All the Gen
put it out
Zers
there.
right now gonna be like, Ricky Martin?
Yeah, like sorry, my
said
bad.
Rick and
I'm
Morty?
old.
Rick and Morty.
Hey,
No, fucking way, that was good.
I'm the one who always gets roasted in the pit.
You're,
I know.
You're a good
Yeah, I'm
sport
a
about it,
good
buddy.
sport. So, out of all your songs, what's like that one that like means the most? Is it different for all of you? Or do you guys all have the
I
same?
think it's different for all of us.
Go ahead.
Sure.
Go around the table.
Start with
I'm
DJ,
sure for
yeah.
the people who are writing, I'm pretty sure it's different for you. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
It's
Right.
between. I mean, obviously, since I was like vocally present on it, it's between Yamada and
That's
Feel
what I was
Alive.
about to say.
Yeah.
Because Yamada I think that's the first time I wrote something about like my dad in the verses,
Mm.
and that's meaningful because my dad passed away like a few years back. About 4
Okay.
years back. But and then Feel Alive because that's just like that was just low key intellectual when we were first starting out writing, and that was just something that really like stuck with the brain that we were trying to portray. So that was like our first like real like super positive.
What's the name of it?
Feel Alive.
Feel alive.
Feel Alive.
Oh, yeah.
And the question you're asking is like, which song is our favorite that we've made?
Yeah,
What
like
means
that,
the
that,
most?
that,
As a group or single?
No, it's all group.
Yeah,
but
we're all
like
groups.
they have
Whatever song
a
is
shit
good.
No,
ton
no,
of
I know.
songs.
I'm saying like
like,
as
to
a
me,
group who
like,
they
what is
like,
the
or
one-
Yeah,
individually
or
those songs?
there's probably one that they probably like, but then individually there's probably one that stands out
Yeah,
the most.
for
You're
sure.
like, you know what, that one's like he just said.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, sentimentally, that I felt like I made at that time. I have to say Yamada too, because I would lay down the guitar and the basis of that when like my grandma passed, and it was just like something that really just resonated with the sound of the feel of the beat that kind of like added to the whole like feeling of the song in general. You know what I mean? And it like kind of like in that moment, I feel like I set the groundwork of what the song was gonna be like because it just had that sorrow like almost nostalgic and just reminiscent feeling of like a loved one that you just won't be able to see again. You know what I mean? But as far as like what I'm excited about, man, Sela Come is just like something.
That's fire.
I feel like that's like opening the door for what I can do in the rap world because I haven't really rapped like the way that I did in that song.
When was the first time you showing them?
Yeah.
This is the time you showing right? Because the catalog right now.
You've been there, you just haven't gave it to the world yet.
But it's so frito on that thing, man.
Okay.
That's
Oh
for sure.
yeah.
What about you?
As a songwriter, it's definitely different. I think with the songs that we have out right now, the one that speaks the most is No Me Importa, and we featured Cristina Quiñones on there.
Oh yeah. I heard that.
Just because, like I said, it's really like the idea that I wrote behind that song was to be the song is about just being you, right? Regardless of what people say. And most of the time, I wrote my verse in regards to like if I was speaking to my mother, because growing up Hispanic in a Catholic household too, right? You know, we were raised a certain way. And like growing up, I started to think a little bit differently. But or like maybe the way I colored my hair, the way I got piercings and stuff like that, that was already deemed as, it was like frowned upon.
Yeah,
But it's one of those things where you
I'm
want to tell it, I'm telling my mother, it's like at the end of the day, that doesn't change the person that I am. Like I'm still the son that respects people. Like everything that you taught me, I still take with me. It's just my outlook, my interests have just changed. But don't judge me on that because that's not what matters.
That's dope as fuck.
I think, but there's these songs. There's a song right now that I've written about a couple months back that I really like, just because of how I've leveled up as a songwriter, in terms of like metaphors and flows and the melodies that I've hit. It's crazy. So it's unreleased right now. It's called Cicatrices.
You got like the phone.
We're gonna play that after the podcast.
But that's just for future reference. But that one's like one I'm really proud of as a
That you're ready
songwriter.
for,
That I
yeah.
went, yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
bro.
Cicatriz. Oh yeah.
For me, I'm gonna have to say the one that touches me the most is Yamada, just because we all went through a loss. Like since we all share similar grandparents, our grandpa had passed, and we all wrote a little something touchy about just we wanted to keep it vague about just being able to about missing somebody and not really being able to see them again, not necessarily about death period.
Yeah.
So a lot of people interpret it as their ex or whatever.
Right.
You know? So we left it open
broad,
for interpretation. But for me, I know
fill in the
personally
blanks.
exactly.
Dope.
But when I feel it, it just brings me back to that to that root of my grandpa, who we wrote it. But I feel like as far as my favorite one that means the most to me personally, I'm gonna say it's Ponte because
That's a good one.
it's what most people they say it's the one that we get the most response to. The first one that we started getting that response, like
Yeah,
that
all
was
you
hard.
guys
Like,
make hits.
everybody's like Ponte. Like one of my dreams was I want to hear my music on the radio. I want to hear my music in the clubs, like the shit that I produce because I produce it, you know. So I want to hear what I made in the club, and that's the first one that the DJs would start spinning without us having to ask them.
yeah.
They'd be like, "Hey, we got Mucho over here," and then they play it for us, and we'd be like, "Hey, it's just for me."
I'm
it's
sure
very-
that's
it's
fun.
fulfilling. It's
Right,
fulfilling.
right.
It feels so cool
It's lit.
because
Right.
it's like that sense of recognition, and that's that first song that kind of brought us that.
Right.
Yeah. So
That's
I'm
Mucho
sure
Info
that-
is somebody walking into the club now because we hear the music, they're shouting us out. We're getting the hospitality treatment. It's exciting because it proves to us we're doing what we got to do.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
for sure, 100%. And you guys' mission is like, hearing about it now is like, that's gonna basically you guys are gonna use this as a ship to fulfill that
Exactly.
mission that you guys have, and which
Right.
is
It's our
amazing.
vehicle.
First ship, man.
Yeah,
It's gonna
exactly.
get us to that position where we can really fulfill our mission.
Yeah.
In multiple ways.
100%. Well, we
Yeah.
really appreciate having you guys here. I know you guys got another
Yeah,
interview
sure.
to go to.
What about you?
Yeah, I can
Oh,
answer
he's
the
gotta go
question too.
first.
So that's a really tough question because like I have so many. Like I don't really know because some of the songs I've written from the beginning to the end, you know, for us, and like, and then we navigate like who sings what part. So it's like, I would agree with Yona. I remember when I wrote the intro and the chorus of that song No Me Importa, I remember telling him like, hey bro, like imagine somebody who's just being held back from living the life of their dreams because of someone who loves them keeps telling them that that's a stupid decision. You know, like how do you tell that person to stop worrying about you because you're not worried? You know, and it's like, and I remember writing the lyrics to I'ma be everything and anything that I want to be, and I remember it was just very touching and moving for me. But it's like, that song that so far that we released, I agree with Ed G. Ponte got us into the clubs, but like my favorite chorus that I've written from the songs we released so far is Oasis.
Oasis, okay.
Me convierte en animal como lo hace.
That's a good one too. I fuck with that one.
And I just, and it means a lot more to me now because we had Phantom Neo, who was part of Súbelo Neo. He produced Yo Hago Lo Que Me Da La Gana, like most of the songs on the album. We actually had the opportunity to hang out with him in the studio.
Oh shit!
And we were showing him some of our records, and he saw the music video to Oasis, and like he just really fucked with it.
Yeah.
And he looked at me, he was like, "Bro, estás duro."
Yeah.
You know, and like, and I humbly took that like, man, this is one of the #1 producers in the game.
Right.
This is one of the #1 artist in the world right now, Bad Bunny.
Right.
And it's telling me that he fucks with the music.
That's
So I was like, yes, we
something
glowing,
right,
man. You know,
That's crazy.
and I really,
That's dope.
and it took me to like another stage of belief, which I already fully
100%,
believe in myself.
right.
But it took me like this belief in Mucho Info, like in everything we got going on. It's like we have this person who is where we want to be, confirming that we're doing the right thing.
100%.
Ma, es una confianza, güey.
Yeah.
Confianza,
A
güey.
cosign, incredible
Confianza, güey.
And even though they're not telling the whole world, hey, Mucho is hard, like at least they telling Mucho, yo, you guys are hard.
Right,
Like,
right.
Makes you want to work even harder.
Right.
Yeah. That makes you want to
You're
perfect
gonna be
your
a
craft even
WWE
more.
next to it.
Yeah.
So it's a hard. I don't know which one's my absolute favorite, but
Yeah.
each one has like its moments and it's impactful. And then there's songs like the ones like Jonas mentioned that are unreleased.
Like I'm telling y'all, like this
With
next
too many songs.
this
Yeah.
year that we're releasing, bro, these songs are next level. All of them catchy as hell. They're gonna be trending.
Did COVID affect you guys too? Like
in a
to
positive
be
way.
out
In
in
a
a positive way?
yeah.
Oh,
Not
okay.
COVID positive way.
All right, no, I get it. We made it. Pretty positive.
Yeah, like they're
finish
saying
line.
earlier,
Catch
like,
it.
But we did at some point all get sick. But hey, we're alive today. So
Right,
it's
yeah.
true. God is
You
good.
got it together.
Still
Yeah,
didn't
we-
get a positive test though.
We ran with the quarantine, man. It just got to work.
Yeah.
Bro,
We
made a
made-
bunch of songs and leveled up.
Like 70% of our catalog today we made in those few months of quarantine.
Hell yeah.
Are you trying to do it differently? Because you know, like a lot of times you see artists, you know, you're not really putting things out like at stores, so it's more all digital, right?
All
So
digital, really.
is there a niche that you think you can make it different than what everyone else is doing? I was always trying to think like, is
Niche
there
in what? Like to sell?
Like
Like,
bring
'cause,
back
you know-
CDs?
NFTs.
Anything that's coming back.
Bring
bro,
back
is
tapes.
Vinyls.
Yeah,
Vinyl.
vinyls
We
are
was
coming
just
back.
talking. I was
Yeah.
just talking to one of the guy who runs our Twitter.
Yeah.
He's one of our fraternity brothers. He was talking about like associating a live vinyl with our original release and have songs that we've taken down that we redo that you can only listen to it when you
On
have this
vinyl.
vinyl.
That would be hard.
And it's not even the vinyl that plays. It's like you put it in there and it's like a digital version of the
Yeah.
whole playlist.
So just like pretend it just
I
spins
also-
it.
I also want
That's-
to
that's-
you know?
Just to interrupt for a second, we have to call them at 8:58. So like we can really, it's a phone call radio interview.
Oh,
in
okay.
Kentucky, so we can do it in our car. So we can really take this to
All right,
8:45.
do it right
all
here.
relaxed.
Do it right here if you
We
want
could
to.
do it right here too.
Yeah, we'll just turn it off. You guys can do
It
it.
shouldn't be fire for us to get it on video because we want to have
I
content
mean, y'all
doing
want
that, but we
That's
would want to
fine.
use your content.
We
for
ain't
this.
do it. We
Nah,
ain't got
we-
shit to do, bro. So I'm just here looking at the time because I know
I'm
you
trying to
guys
figure
like-
out, hey, are we
I'll
gonna
take
go
one- I'll take
drink?
one.
Nah, that's cool. I mean, if y'all don't mind, that would be really cool.
Reformation is
Yeah.
right down the street.
Yeah,
And
y'all.
We can all go, bro.
Yeah.
There's
You
a
know,
brewery,
and then
there's a
we'll-
brewery in downtown Woodstock that
And what we could do
that's fire.
is when you guys release this content, we can post this content. We can hold on to this radio interview, and then we can post that this is a radio interview with FM Kentucky, but the studio space is you guys.
Yeah, man.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, whatever, bro.
we're always
We ain't, like I said, we ain't got shit to do, so I was like worried about the time because I know you guys had something to do. But if y'all say keep it rolling, we'll keep it rolling.
You need one? No, I'm good right here. Appreciate it, brother.
You want to take an intermission then?
Man, I feel rude now because I
Okay.
wouldn't get one. I got one. I didn't offer anybody any.
Fuck it, we'll keep it
No,
rolling.
we keep going. Doesn't matter. I got plenty of space on the iPad.
guys-
Yeah,
I was just waiting on the carne asada.
that happened.
No viene con hambre, man.
You gotta go buy the tacos, bro.
Tienen hambre,
I
güey.
can definitely see like with Mucho, we're gonna we're gonna pop off big internationally first before here
Yeah,
in America.
so.
But that's how it works too, especially like. People don't want to rep you until you made it, and then they want to represent.
Right.
Be like, yeah, they from Atlanta. What's up? You know what I mean? But it's all love here either way. Like we've been blessed with always being accepted in where we are, man.
Yeah.
That's
we
awesome.
just come in with our energy.
Yeah.
We come in with pure intentions.
Yep.
And we're gonna rock it out.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you always actions speak louder than words, right?
Yep.
So if you're gonna go on a stage and give it 110%, and they're fucking with you, that's the best way to get, people on your side.
Word of mouth.
You know.
Word of
And
mouth
putting
goes
out
a long
hard
way.
ass music,
Yeah.
great visual content,
And consistency.
and staying true to the brand with the consistency.
If you guys haven't done it, is that a goal to like go to different countries? And
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
All over the
Look,
world.
I can speak it.
where do you guys
confidently.
think would be your first place?
Man, maybe the DR.
Hey,
DR,
DR,
maybe
El
somewhere like
Salvador.
Spain.
Yeah, just
You
down
know,
just the whole
Colombia,
Latin coast.
probably
Yeah.
Venezuela.
Yeah,
Those for
hot as
sure.
fuck.
Colombia,
I do
Venezuela.
see with like having like a tour, it could be either in the
Spain,
Latin countries
too.
or in Spain.
Or in
Ever
Europe.
since we've just
Starting
from
in
the
Spain.
jump,
Yeah.
we've been hitting
Spain.
Because
Spain.
all you
Spain
really,
has been
all
a
you really need is that
Really?
one.
That's dope, dude.
That's
Yeah, like
bad.
if you have that one person, like the headliner, let's say, that is going all through there, but then they're like, hey, why don't you guys come and join us? You just need that one.
Dude,
telling you, bro,
right.
COVID's
Facts.
gonna get out of here. Everyone's touring again like that, and Mucho's gonna get a call.
Hell
The
yeah.
second that
Yeah.
COVID is out of here,
Hell
Mucho is
yeah.
out of here.
Out of
Hell yeah.
It's true,
Like-
though.
Yeah, dude.
Because we.
But to answer your question, who we would want to hear the call to open up for and tour with,
That'd be interesting.
bro, I'd have to say personally, I wish Bad Bunny.
Of course. I mean, yeah.
Like,
That'd be tough.
Of course, I mean,
But
yeah.
bro,
Speak it
his
into existence,
Yeah.
bro.
last
Yeah.
Speak it
album,
into
Yeah.
his last
existence.
album, I've had like 6 songs just like represent part of my life. I'm like, damn, bro, like that.
He's
the
an
way-
interesting guy.
Yeah, man, it really is. Just
Very
like the
interesting.
way that he creates value just by who he is. Bro. Like what he did to the WWE.
Yeah.
No other fucking wrestler did that kind of shit. Like,
Yeah.
and brought that kind of
He
attention.
broke that
Yeah.
barrier
He's-
between like
he's-
the music industry and like
Entertainment
entertainment.
period.
Yeah, he broke that. Well, at least for like the Hispanic side, you know what I mean? He did that.
He did it in such a different way.
Yeah.
I think he was the first reggaeton artist on SNL, on Saturday Night Live.
I
Yeah,
did see
believe
that.
And
I
that
did
motherfucker
see
did it
that.
twice.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
right.
He's been on twice.
Yeah, so he's getting into mainstream media.
And
Like,
the last SNL he did, he was actually doing skits. She was funny as
Talking
fuck.
it
Man,
Oh,
whoever is pulling strings behind Bad Bunny's movement,
dude,
Really?
jeez.
That's what I'm saying.
Mastermind.
It's always that niche, right? Because he, at that time when he was coming out, everyone was kind of mimicking that like the Daddy Yankee or like the Winston Yandel,
right.
and he came out of nowhere with something way different.
Yeah.
And you're taking the same sound. That's one of the fun things about reggaeton, right? Because when they always talk about how it started, it's a gumbo. It's like how salsa started, right? But then it's like you're gonna get those different mixtures, and they're gonna go in different directions, you know. And it's just catching that wave, and people.
Well,
and
what
people
he
start
did,
doing it.
he made basically everything that was taboo for like the Hispanic culture. He brought it to light and made it cool. You know what I mean? Everything like that people were afraid of doing as like a male Hispanic.
Yeah.
He did it. You know what I mean? He brought it to the front and center, and he was like,
I mean, what about
Yeah.
Daddy?
Exactly.
But you
Like,
don't
he
think
didn't
Daddy
give a
Yankee
fuck,
did that
like-
already?
Huh?
You don't think Daddy Yankee?
No.
No,
did that?
hell
He's
no.
like-
Not
He's
like
performing
that.
at like Super Bowl.
Daddy Yankee's like the
No,
originator.
Daddy Yankee. Yeah, he's like the OG.
He is the originator.
He is a reggaeton.
But like,
Yeah.
Let me
He
sit
is
my
like a
boomer
dog,
ass
yeah.
down over here.
But that's so true, man.
And then Little Nas X is fucking all.
Everybody.
But see, look, everyone, like, that's how it is, man. That's how the greats become the greats, because they take what's something familiar and they put their own originality into
100.
it, and people are gonna stick with that.
Yeah.
Like, that's why Bad Bunny blew up the way he did, because he took his own thing to reinvent reggaeton. And when Let's Be in Mucho, same thing. We're born, majority of us Hispanic, right? Raised in the A, though. Met with this guy here too. It's similar upbringings,
Yeah.
but to be influenced with all this to come together, and then
That's what makes it
to
different.
make
That's
that
what stands
sound,
out.
it's,
Yeah.
it's over with.
Yeah.
So we're gonna conquer a lot of different markets.
Definitely,
too.
definitely.
That's what's really exciting.
That's
I
that's
think-
what I see is that you guys got a broad market. You guys can hit literally any Hispanic American market and like do it with no problem. So you guys got very bright future ahead of you guys.
You guys ready for your
100%.
interview?
Ready? Hey,
Yeah.
on to the next one, bro.
All right.
Hey,
you
one
know,
more. Do you guys? Because I haven't heard you guys, to be honest with you, and it's cool. I can't wait to go hear you guys.
Got
honestly.
to, bro. You
For
gotta look
sure,
at
dude.
shit
I'm about
comments.
to bust out jamming
When
y'all.
we go to Breath Formation.
But are you guys Spanish and English? I don't know.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Spanglish. Usually like an 80-20 split.
More
Okay,
Spanish,
that's
more Spanish than English.
Then English. Okay.
So más reggaeton, más dembow.
Yeah.
You guys doing it here?
Más música trap. Huh?
You guys gonna
But
do
when
it
it's
here?
trap,
Yeah, we do
is a
it.
little English in it or something?
well,
it's
we'll,
more like
we'll
trap.
cut it here. So,
We'll talk with it.
yeah, we appreciate having you guys here.
Thank you, man.
We look forward to having you guys back soon.
Definitely.
And we'll definitely kick it after this. So,
Yeah.
Hey, we got
Mucho here. And we
You
got
already know.
ALV podcast.
ALV.
Love you guys. Mucho
Yeah.
love.
Until next
I like
time,
that.
guys.
There we go.
Peace.
Hola, ¿todo bien? Aquí estamos. Somos Mucho Info desde Atlanta, Georgia.
Sí, ahora sí.
Saludos desde Atlanta. Aquí tenemos mucho info.
Ok, pues este es Jonah.
G.
Yo soy Maui.
Esto es Hex.
DZ.
Somos un grupo de 5.
Pues nosotros estamos aquí en Atlanta, Georgia. Tenemos de variedades aquí de El Salvador, México y de Jacksonville.
Florida. Sí. Nacidos en Boston, Massachusetts. Mexicano, salvadoreño.
Mexicano, salvadoreño.
Puro salvadoreño.
Puro salvadoreño.
African American.
Ya, tenemos de todo.
Hey, gracias, thank you. Well, antes teníamos el nombre TMI, Too Much Information, y como que no pegaba muy bien, y nosotros somos bilingües, somos Spanglish, so queríamos hacer algo más o menos bilingüe. So we came up with Mucho Info. Y tenemos un mucho... ¿Cómo?
Me gusta mucho la combinación del inglés y el español.
Oh, gracias, muchas gracias.
Sí, gracias. Y es que tenemos una misión, que es crear ondas de amor que empoderan la humanidad con creatividad, excelencia y servidumbre. Y queremos hacer la música y dar una influencia de amor y de buen humor.
Positividad.
Y así igual en las fiestas, perreando con una mente positiva.
So we do.
Eso we do. Es mucho info.
Positivo.
Eso.
O sea,
No, sí, muy bien.
Ajá.
pues claro, cada día siempre es una fiesta, pero también siempre andamos aquí con el mindset, ¿verdad? Que todas las canciones queremos que llegue a las dos comunidades, de la comunidad latina and the American people. We want everybody to understand and know who Mucho is and what we represent.
Ajá. Se lo come todo.
Pues muchas cosas.
En carne asada.
Un flan.
Pupusas.
Por ejemplo, hoy te comiste el pescadito de Semana Santa.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Dile a nuestra mamá que sí.
A nuestra mamá, sí.
Todo.
Todo. Hey.
La manera en que se proyectan sus voces es ya, aparte de que el tema está súper bien montado.
Gracias. Ese video bien brutal.
Listo.
Ya viene pronto.
Vamos a hacer una colaboración.
Ok, positivamente, ¿verdad?
Ey. Sí, aquí, y nosotros somos latinos, pero nacidos aquí y tenemos también el sonido de Atlanta, pues les pusimos unos instruments que son de trap y de hip hop y es un dembow y teníamos que darle como ese flow universal que la gente de todo el mundo puede sentir, el dembow y el reggaetón para dar un sentimiento heavy, duro, con también el reggaetón y el que sea bailable. And thank you for that, nos encanta que les gustó el tema, de verdad.
El tema está súper duro. Oye, ¿desde hace cuánto que ustedes son un grupo? ¿Ustedes son amigos de hace muchos años? ¿O lo juntan? ¿Se conocen cuando están formando el grupo?
Ajá.
¿Cómo se junta Mucho Info?
Bueno, 4 del grupo somos primos. 2 son hermanos y los otros 2 somos primos hermanos. Nos conocimos desde nacido, honestamente. Y el quinto es Dizzy. Él lo conocimos en la universidad cuando fundamos una fraternidad. Ahí nos conocimos durante el trabajo por construir todo eso. Y juntos, bueno, desde chicos estábamos todos en el coro cantando, influidos por la música de la iglesia. Y también Dizzy, aunque él estaba en el otro lado de Georgia, lo mismo con su juventud. Y ya cuando nos conocimos en la universidad, vimos cómo estamos, very similar, very unique, and we were always freestyling. So ahí estamos con la música
Por 3 años.
Ya por 3 años.
Y tocamos los instrumentos, estuvimos en coros y todo eso, aprendiendo de cantar y tocar diferentes instrumentos y así crecimos nuestro talento como grupo y como socios de negocio empezamos el negocio de Mucho Info y es nuestra pasión, nos encanta hacerlo. La carrera es una fiesta.
¿Cuántos años llevan ahora mismo de carrera, como grupo, como carrera?
Como grupo ya
casi 3 años.
Casi 3 años.
¿Han salido del estado de Atlanta a llevar su música?
Bueno, no hemos hecho como algún show afuera del estado de Atlanta, de Georgia, pero sí hemos pegado en Spotify, en YouTube, Apple Music. Nuestro data dice que estamos pegando en muchas partes, como en España, hasta Alemania, en toda Centroamérica, en El Salvador, en muchos lados está pegando por el internet, entonces todavía falta que nosotros vayamos en persona.
Ya que se levanta la pandemia, yo creo que Mucho Info va a estar en todo el mundo.
Sí.
Muy bien, oye, me gusta ese pensar de ustedes. Yo creo que eso es algo que hay que mantenerlo siempre. Y más porque estamos hablando de un grupo, no estamos hablando de un artista que es solo o de un dúo. Estamos hablando de un grupo de 5 integrantes, más la banda. O sea, es un grupo bastante grande. Hace tiempo no se ven, ¿no? Y creo que el último grupo que salió fue CNCO.
Ajá.
Ahí no ha salido otro grupo que no es fácil. Y eso es algo que, oye, muchachos, lo respeto de verdad. I respect that because having a group like that is not easy.
It's not. Thank you.
English is not very good looking, pero se escucha bien.
No, very good
Claro,
looking.
mira, aquí le ponemos a Dizzy también por poner un poco
Hey,
en
it's
inglés.
good looking.
That's okay, man.
Yeah. You want to talk about like being like together in a group?
So man, it's
He
a
says
different,
it's a tough vibe.
It's a tough
to
vibe.
be
Work
in.
together.
yeah, I mean, generally, yeah, nah, nah, I don't really speak Spanish that well, but I can understand like context and understand certain things. Right, correct. Or Deseta if you want to call me that.
Deseta.
Oh yeah, I mean, I like all women, man. What you mean? That's on the list, you know.
Y se lo come todo.
Exactly, man. You know what I'm saying. So honestly, man, the crazy thing is a lot of people don't really think about this, but music is really a universal language, to be honest. Like, and we know what good music sound like, at least to us, so we have that common goal and we're all on the same wavelength. And it's that literally like helps us and propels us to be able to like create the sound that we create. So we know that something sounds good or bad because there's 5 minds going into it. It's not just like one person that has to like rely on asking somebody else their opinion. We're all 5 into this coming creating one product that we're all gonna have to like to be able to
Speak a
produce.
little
You know?
Spanish.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I do speak a little Spanish. At the same
DG
time.
skill set. The skill set you bring to the table is what.
Exactly. And I mean that's a,
Nah,
I mean, but
he's learning them himself.
Teach
but
him everything.
everybody learns the bad words first.
He's gonna say, baby, dale, ponte.
Well, we want to do the I can do the hook for you at least.
Se lo come todo.
Se lo come. Hey, you already know, man. I'm learning along the way, though. Trust me.
What can I say? I mean, God bless this group, and I hope that y'all keep growing and growing and growing. And we happy that we have you guys here in our show. De verdad que los apreciamos mucho y le bendecimos mucho sus carreras. Yo creo que tener un grupo así, de verdad que es de valorar y de respetar, y nosotros lo respetamos desde acá. Algo más, Javi, que le quieres decir que Dios le bendiga su carrera. Estamos súper orgullosos. Yo también soy nacido acá en los Estados Unidos, pero ser nacido acá en los Estados Unidos y llevar la cultura es algo muy importante para mí. So, no paren eso, no dejen que nadie les diga que no se puede hacer, que no son latinos, porque yo digo, somos más latinos que los no latinos, porque tenemos el orgullo
Amén.
más grande en el corazón nosotros. So,
Exacto, man.
aprecio mucho y ya saben la relación que tenemos entre nosotros, mi hijo, ustedes. Me encanta lo que hacen, yo soy fanático de ustedes desde que mi hijo le presentó la música a mí, me encanta. So, sigan para adelante.
Muchas gracias por el amor y todo su apoyo. Gracias, honestamente.
Honestamente,
Y no nos pueden cantar algo ahí a capela rapidito. Esa es buena.
Oasis.
¿Cuál le damos?
¿Le cantamos el de ¿se lo come o quieren otro? ¿Otro?
Just do a quick do it for me.
Yeah, do it for me. No, hacemos el de Oasis.
So, Oasis.
Yeah, tenemos otro tema que se llama Oasis, se lo cantamos.
Me gusta la nueva canción, pero Oasis es my favorite.
Yeah, ok, so ahí les va. Me convierte en animal como lo hace. Me entretiene y le encanta provocarme. Me saca la manguera pa' mojarse.
Se desnuda en la piscina del oasis.
Me convierte en animal como lo hace. Me entretiene y le encanta provocarme. Me saca la manguera pa' mojarse. Ey, se desnuda en la piscina del oasis. Ey.
And then guitar solo.
Ay. Ya saben, ya vean ese video también, pero el de Se lo come, sí, de verdad, era nuestro video favorito hasta este día. It was the most lit, so
Se lo come todo.
Yo le digo, y mala mía que no lo he hecho, pero lo voy a decir públicamente. Yo sí pongo la canción bastante veces en la discoteca y hoy la voy a poner y te voy a grabar un video y te lo voy a mandar.
Eso, gracias, muchas gracias.
Mucho
Tag
love.
us, tag us
Mucho
at
love.
Mucho Info.
Aquí somos Mucho Info on the Urban Show. And you're hearing Se lo come.
Gracias. Bueno, aquí la única que se lo come es Brenda. No, se lo come.
Tiene hambre la Brenda.
Oye, que vamos a con la mamá y vamos a llenar. Oye, vamos a hacer algo antes de irnos. Yo quiero que ustedes presenten su nuevo tema, Se lo come. Yo quiero que ustedes lo hagan y de ahí, de verdad que muchas bendiciones y éxito. Presenten el tema que nos vamos con el tema ahora en vivo.
Hey, we got Mucho over here. Estás escuchando a Se lo come on the Urban Show.
Hey, we got
Mucho over here.
Beautiful.
They hang up on
Yeah, that's it.
That was fire.
Now we going live in Kentucky.
Right, bro. That's just crazy.
It's easier to walk when it's over here. Nice. You got it? Yes. There you go. Oh, well. Can't forget that. Huh?